Hey, Troy, I need you to speed up the delivery of the parts I ordered the other day by a week. Thank you for your ongoing support, David. You're asking about the delivery timeline, I see? It's not a request, it's an order. It's a decision that's already been made. I sincerely apologize, but at this point, we've set the delivery schedule at the very limit of production capacity due to the preferences of our headquarters. I will talk to the production team, but there's a high possibility that we won't be able to meet your expectations. I told you that moving the delivery date up is a decision that's already been made. You're in a position where you're receiving work from us, so don't argue with me. As much as I would like to comply, the reality is that any further shortening of the delivery timeline will lead to increased overtime for our employees, which in turn raises our costs. Normally, this would mean we would have to charge a special expedited fee. Moreover, having to move it up by a week at this point is unrealistic in terms of our schedule. Just do it at the regular rate. We have a budget to stick to as well. I'm not gonna pay any more than I already have. Of course, I expect you to move the delivery date up according to our wishes. If that's the case, I'm truly sorry, but we still won't be able to meet your request. What did you say? Your company, E Corporation, has had a history of unreasonable delivery demands, and we're hearing more and more voices from the production team expressing that they are reaching their physical and mental limits. As for pricing, we've already driven it down to the very edge, and to be frank, the current situation is far from what we would consider a fair price. Isn't it your responsibility as a subcontractor to manage that? Everything has its limits. Our president has advised me that if we're asked for anything more unreasonable, I'm free to decline outright, so please take my response as aligned with our company's policy. You think a fourth-rate company like yours can talk back to me? Fourth-rate? This is the consequence of defying me, the sales manager of the industry's #1 company. What will you do about the order you've placed with us at this point? Cancel it. We'll consider the contract finished with last month's order. I see. If that's the case, I'll proceed as you stated. Please send me a formal notice of contract termination via certified mail later. What a hassle. It would be problematic for both of us to get into a dispute later about what was or wasn't said. From a business perspective, it's strange to terminate a contract based solely on a message, so I'd appreciate your cooperation in this matter. Fine, I get it. As the sales manager of the leading company in our industry, I can't help but feel a bit aggrieved. I have a responsibility to uphold standards both for my team and the clients we serve. We take pride in our ability to meet demands, but sometimes those demands can be excessively burdensome. It's frustrating to deal with clients who seem oblivious to the pressures on our end. Troy, while I understand you're trying to do your job, this is simply unacceptable. You cannot expect us to operate under these constraints without any consideration for our well-being. I know it's a tough situation, but my hands are tied. I have to stick to our internal guidelines and the limits that have been set. We can't sacrifice our employees' health for a hasty timeline. If we push them too hard, we risk quality and output. This isn't just about you, David. It affects us as well. If I don't meet my clients' demands, I risk losing my job. It's a competitive environment, and every decision counts. I have quotas to meet, and I can't afford to let anyone down. I get that, but what you need to understand is that I have a duty to my team as well. They work hard, and they deserve to be respected. Pressuring them beyond their limits only leads to burnout and dissatisfaction. We can't have that if we want to maintain a healthy work environment. Sure, but you have to look at the bigger picture. The business relies on us to meet deadlines, and if we don't, there are consequences. I don't want to be the one to break the bad news to my superiors. I can appreciate your position, but it's a two-way street. We need to come to a compromise that respects both parties involved. What about discussing a middle ground where we can still meet your needs without compromising our integrity? A middle ground, huh? What do you suggest? How about we look into adjusting the timeline slightly while still maintaining quality? I can push the team to see what they can do, but it'll require an understanding on your part that this is a shared effort. I'm willing to listen. What do you have in mind? Let's explore a few options. I can approach production and see if they can expedite certain parts of the process without sacrificing the end product. We can work together to find solutions that don't put either of us in a tough spot. All right, I'll give you that. I want to be on good terms, but it has to be clear that the expectations are realistic. Absolutely. I assure you that we want to maintain our relationship, but it has to be built on mutual respect and understanding. This could lead to more business down the line if we can prove our capabilities without overextending ourselves. Agreed. I appreciate your willingness to cooperate, and I hope we can reach a solution that benefits both sides. Hello, Sam. I hope you're doing well. I understand that you're currently on the bus, so I apologize for reaching out via message at this time.
Thank you for your message, Troy. I appreciate your consideration.
I'm writing to inform you that the prototype of the new part you requested has been completed, and I'd like to ask for your confirmation on it.
Wow, it's already done? That was impressively quick. You finished it a week earlier than scheduled.
Thank you very much. I believe a significant factor in this speedy completion is that the part you requested follows standard specifications. Fortunately, we had a similar case on file that we could refer to, which helped us streamline the process and create the prototype efficiently.
Are you perhaps referring to the situation with E Corporation?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up abruptly.
No worries, I understand that this is a more casual topic. Maybe we can discuss it more during your lunch break when you have some private time to chat.
Yes, that sounds good.
Regarding the prototype, I'll consult with my supervisor and then get back to you with a date for when I can visit your office to discuss everything in detail.
Understood. I look forward to hearing from you. For now, I'll let you go. Thank you for your attention to this matter, and I appreciate your help.
Thank you. I appreciate your understanding. Talk to you soon.
Hey, Sam. Sorry to keep you waiting. Are you still on the bus?
Yes, Troy. I was just continuing our previous conversation.
Oh, right. You were about to mention something regarding E Corporation, right?
Yes, that's what I wanted to discuss. Just a few days ago, it seems they got into a bit of trouble with a new business partner.
Oh? What happened?
After they stopped doing business with your company, they tried to request the same parts from a factory in the neighboring town. However, they were quoted a ridiculously high price, and on top of that, the salesperson from E Corporation was incredibly condescending. He said something along the lines of, you should feel grateful that a low-tier town factory like yours can contract with an industry-leading company like ours. Apparently, they asked him to leave immediately after that.
Wow, that sounds really familiar. The words seem to have a strong sense of déjà vu.
They've had similar issues when consulting with other companies, and it seems that the production of necessary parts is still halted. As a result, they're facing delays in delivering their final products.
You know, it could very well be the same salesperson who is handling our accounts.
I had a feeling that might be the case. Every time something came up, he'd proudly proclaim, "I'm the sales manager of the industry's #1 company."
What a character. By the way, I should mention that our company, A Corporation, actually took over that title a few years ago.
Oh, right. I remember that now. So with all of this happening, it seems that word of their blunders is spread to our company. They might come crawling back to you soon, begging to resume business.
Got it. I'll stay vigilant just in case. Thanks for the heads up.
Of course. If the information is useful, then that's all I need. Oh, by the way, my dad mentioned that he wants to play shogi with you again.
Oh, really?
He's all fired up and said he's definitely going to win this time.
Please, tell him to go easy on me.
Consider it done. Plus, the preparations for our wedding are nearing the final stages, and we've just finalized the contract for our new home. There's so much to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Troy! Long time no see, David. I need to discuss some changes to our transaction details. It's a holiday today, you know. Just listen! The parts scheduled for delivery were supposed to be just the ones from the contract we had 2 months ago, but I've decided that we're gonna continue our business relationship after all. As I recall, you placed an order for 1 month's worth of parts at the time the contract was terminated, so I want those delivered based on that order. However, the president has ordered that this already ordered batch of parts must be delivered now. As a special consideration, I'm gonna give you a slightly adjusted price just for this month. What is it? I'm in a hurry. We've terminated our business relationship with E Corporation, so unless we sign a new contract and place a new order, we can't accommodate your delivery request. Hey, I told you, it's a presidential order. The president you're referring to is not our company's president. This is an order from the #1 company in the industry, allowing you low-tier companies to resume transactions with us. What choice do you have to refuse? We only have the option to refuse, actually. What did you say? Hey, Troy, are you seriously saying that? You know that if we stop doing business with you, your sales will plummet, right? Do you understand that this could lead to a critical situation for your company, potentially even bankruptcy? That's not a problem at all. In fact, we began our business relationship with A Corporation, the real #1 in the industry, 2 years ago. Huh? A Corporation? That's our rival company! That's right. We're working with that rival at 5 times the price, so restarting our contract with you at the previous price is, frankly, impossible due to our commitments with other clients. Wait, 5 times? Isn't that just outrageous? I can only share what I can, but the costs for the new parts we're getting from A Corporation are almost the same as the ones we use to supply to you. And yet you say it's 5 times? Let me clarify. In general terms, this 5 times is actually the fair market price. Could it be that you're not getting any takers anywhere else because... Yes, indeed. I want to make this clear. The issue has been your unreasonable pricing strategy, and I think you need to acknowledge that. Also, I believe your arrogant attitude has been a significant problem. That's just not right! Given that I've made promises to the president, I need to have our transactions resume at the original price. Otherwise, I'll be in a tight spot. That's impossible. Come on, can't you make this work somehow? Impossible. Please, I'm begging you, work with me here. Impossible. Troy, come on, we have a history, don't we? I don't know what kind of history you think we have, but it's impossible. Troy! It's impossible. I'm preparing to go out for a late movie with my fiancé, so I'll take my leave now. Huh? Your fiancé? Yes, it's someone from one of our client companies. During our work together, we developed a romantic relationship. You're not trying to brag about that, are you? Right now, your priority should be me, not your fiancé. Of course, my fiancé takes precedence. What? Well, then, I must take my leave. Troy! Sam, you're already on your way out, right?
Yeah, I just got on the bus at A-Town Station.
Great. I wanted to chat with you quickly before you reach your destination. There's something important I wanted to bring up. I received a message today from that sales rep at E Company, the one who contacted us a while ago. Remember him?
Wait, are you talking about the guy who claims to work for the industry's #1 company? You mean the same person that we had that huge issue with?
Exactly. It seems he's not only unprofessional, but also completely out of touch with reality. He was shocked when I explained what the proper pricing should be for the new contract, especially compared to the extremely low prices they were used to setting with us in the past.
Wow, are you serious? How could he not know basic pricing information? That's sales 101. I can't believe how incompetent someone at that level could be.
Yeah, it's kind of unbelievable. He seemed completely unprepared to handle actual business negotiations, almost like he was expecting us to simply accept the same deal we used to have.
Didn't we already explain to them that those ridiculous prices were no longer sustainable? It wasn't just a suggestion. We made it clear that we couldn't continue like that.
We did, and that's what makes it even stranger. It's like he thought we were bluffing or something. He seemed genuinely surprised when we stuck to our terms and didn't budge on the pricing. And now it looks like they're scrambling to find other suppliers because nobody wants to deal with them under those conditions.
Well, I guess it's not entirely surprising. If they've been lowballing every supplier like they did with us, it's only a matter of time before they run into trouble. What did he say exactly? Was he trying to get us to agree to the same terms again?
Pretty much. He tried to play the same card, saying they were still number one in the industry and that we should be grateful for the opportunity to work with them. It was pretty laughable, honestly.
You've got to be kidding me. Do they really think anyone still buys that line? Even if they were the top company, which I don't believe they are anymore, that doesn't give them the right to dictate unfair prices to everyone they deal with.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. He didn't just stop at asking for the same deal. He tried to sweeten the pot by offering to continue our partnership if we met their deadline on the current order. Like we're supposed to be so grateful for their business that we'd just jump at the chance to keep working with them.
Wow, so they really don't get it. They're acting like they're doing us a favor by continuing the deal, even though it's not profitable for us in the first place. It's no wonder they're having such a hard time finding suppliers to work with them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's happening. It's funny because one of the former employees at E Company who transferred over to A Company told me that this kind of arrogant attitude isn't new. Apparently, it started because of personal ties between the previous presidents of both companies. They used those connections to get away with this kind of thing for years, but now it's all catching up with them.
That actually makes a lot of sense. They were probably relying on these personal relationships to keep the deals going, even though the business side of things wasn't sustainable. But you can only push people so far before they start looking for better options.
Exactly. And honestly, I think the new leadership over there is trying to clean up the mess. Maybe that's why they're so desperate to keep the old deals going, even though it's obvious that they can't operate that way anymore.
Yeah, it sounds like they're in panic mode. But still, they should know that we're not going to fall for those tactics again.
For sure. That's why we're sticking to our terms and letting them know that we can't continue the partnership under those conditions. I think they were expecting us to cave, but when they realized we wouldn't, they got desperate.
Well, good for you for holding firm. I know it's tough sometimes, but you have to do what's right for the company, not just for short-term gain. If they want to keep working with us, they need to meet us halfway, not just dictate terms like they have in the past.
Exactly. And I think this situation is going to be a wake-up call for them. They can't keep treating suppliers like this and expect everyone to just go along with it. Eventually, they'll have to adjust or they'll lose out entirely.
Yeah, no doubt. It'll be interesting to see how they respond when they realize they can't find anyone else willing to work with them under those conditions. Hopefully, they'll learn from this and start treating their partners with the respect they deserve.
I hope so too. Anyway, thanks for letting me vent about this. It's been a frustrating situation, but I feel better now that we're sticking to our guns.
No problem at all. I'm glad we talked about it. It's always good to hear how things are going on your end.
In the end, E Corporation was unable to secure a new business partner to replace our company. As a result, they faced significant challenges, particularly in delivering their products on time. The inability to meet their obligations meant that deadlines were missed, and the consequences of that failure were severe for the entire company. David, who was the primary contact for this issue, was held responsible for the fallout. Due to this failure, he faced not only a demotion but also a salary reduction. It was a harsh punishment, and he was effectively sidelined from his previous role in what could be described as a triple whammy: demotion, decreased pay, and a transfer to a less desirable position. This was undoubtedly a significant blow to his career and reputation. The president of E Corporation, realizing the gravity of the situation, also stepped forward to apologize. He took responsibility for the company's delay in understanding and addressing the issues that had arisen. As the head of the company, it was his duty to ensure everything ran smoothly, and he acknowledged that they had fallen short in this instance. His public acknowledgement of the failure was meant to reassure both employees and clients that they were aware of the problems and were committed to resolving them. Despite the setbacks, E Corporation is still a reasonably large and well-established company. Thankfully, they managed to avoid a crisis that could have spiraled into bankruptcy. The situation could have been much worse, potentially leading to layoffs and financial ruin for many employees. Fortunately, it appears that no one ended up in dire straits as a result of this particular incident, which was a relief for the employees who relied on their jobs to support their families. However, about a month after the initial incident, new developments emerged. It seems that David, in his new position after being transferred, made some sort of mistake that led to further complications. The details of what happened are somewhat murky, but the end result was clear. He was ultimately let go from the company altogether. This termination not only ended his employment, but also had a lasting impact on his career trajectory. Now, David is in a precarious situation. He appears to be holed up alone in his apartment, unemployed, and likely feeling the weight of his circumstances. The transition from a relatively stable career to this position of uncertainty has undoubtedly taken a toll on him. Given that he's probably behind on rent payments, it's likely just a matter of time before he faces eviction. The combination of his job loss and financial troubles has put him in a difficult position, leaving him to navigate the challenges of unemployment and potential homelessness. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Does this number belong to Tyler's mom, Beth? Who's this? I'd totally appreciate if you didn't answer my question with a question, okay? Thanks. Answer my question now. Isn't it usually considered polite to tell someone who you are before making aggressive demands when messaging a complete stranger out of the blue? Huh? Who are you? Holy heck, you really are something else. I'm Cindy, your son's girlfriend. Huh? My son? Well, to be more specific, I'm actually his ex-girlfriend, but that's your son's fault. Allow me to explain what I mean. Okay, I'm really not sure what you mean by my son. What? Do you need me to say his name again? Tyler. Tyler. Your son, Tyler. And did this son of mine do something to you? Yes, he did something super duper horrible to me. He used me, tricked me, deceived me, then tossed me aside when he was done with me like some piece of garbage, like some pawn in his sick game. I'm the poor victim who got chewed up and spat out by your son's marriage scam. Marriage scam? Your son tricked me into paying him $150,000 as part of some twisted marriage scam. My son, Tyler, $150,000? That's what I just said, isn't it? You're his mom, so you must be getting some money from him, right? That's why you need to take responsibility for what he did and make this right. Responsibility? Yes, I am telling you to show some sincerity and good faith by way of apology for your son's despicable behavior towards me. Could you be more specific? Give me back the $150K he swindled me out of. If you do, I'll consider this whole thing settled and am very kindly willing to not take him to court. Also, I'm pregnant, so you need to take responsibility for that, too. You're pregnant? I'm just asking this to make sure, but you wouldn't joke about something as serious as my son Tyler getting you pregnant, would you? Give me a break, like I joke about that. If anything, it seems like I'm the only one taking this seriously. Tyler promised me we were going to get married. I figured if we were going to end up getting married and spending the rest of our lives together, it wouldn't be a big deal for me to lend him the $150K he was asking for. But in spite of that, the moment I told him I was pregnant, he blurts out, "Not my problem," and runs away like some sniveling coward with his tail between his legs. Wow. If he agrees to give me back my $150K and be a daddy to this baby growing inside of me, I won't take him to court for marriage scamming me, and I'll agree to marry him. This isn't going away unless you play ball with me, so you better start taking what I'm saying seriously. Think of it this way. If you work with me on this, all of your problems will disappear in a heartbeat. Isn't that an attractive offer? Besides, Beth, this will be your first grandson. From your point of view, I don't think this is a bad offer at all. The thing is, Cindy, there is no way my Tyler could possibly have done any of the things you're accusing him of. Is this where you start blabbering about how my son would never do such a thing? You obviously don't know him very well if you think he's some angel who could do no wrong. I get why you want to tell yourself that, but this is reality. It's time to wake up and smell the coffee. I am the victim of his scheme, and as much as you'd like to tell yourself otherwise, I do actually exist. I'm not a dream, and I'm not a ghost. This is reality. That's why you'll be making sure that jerk Tyler takes full responsibility for everything he did to me. I want the $150K he stole from me back, and his hand in marriage. And I ain't budging on this, so don't even try to negotiate or worm your way out on his behalf, because you'll only make things worse for yourself. I'm sure you can understand that this is all very sudden for me. I need some time to talk things through with my husband. I take it that won't be a problem for you? I'm absolutely certain this is a case of mistaken identity, but it seems like you've been through a rough time of it lately, so let me get definite confirmation so you can move on and go after whoever it was who really hurt you. And I'm absolutely certain I have the right person, but fine. Once your little family meeting's over, I'll be waiting for my $150K and my wedding. Speak soon. Vince, I'm sorry to bug you while you're away on business like this. There is something I need to discuss with you urgently.
Yeah, it's cool. I'm currently in the bus en route to the hotel, so I wasn't busy anyway. What's up? Is everything okay?
Listen, someone messaged me out of the blue. Supposedly Tyler scammed some girl out of $150K with some kind of marriage scam, as well as getting her pregnant.
Excuse me? A marriage scam? Pregnancy? Tyler?
Some girl called Cindy messaged me all of a sudden.
Surely it's just some kind of prank. I've heard about this kind of thing on the news before. They call a bunch of people with some dramatic story, citing a random name until they find someone who matches. Tyler couldn't possibly do something like that in the first place. Even if it's not a prank, maybe she's making some kind of misunderstanding. In any case, there's absolutely no way what she's saying is true. At least not with our Tyler.
Right, I'm with you 100%. I try to see the best in people, so I'd like to think she's making some kind of misunderstanding. But the thing is, I don't know anyone called Cindy, and I have no idea how she got my number or knows Tyler's name. I supposed she could have tried her luck with hundreds of people before me, but it still kind of feels too oddly specific to be a random prankster. To tell you the truth, Vince, I'm scared.
Right? It must have given you quite a shock to get bombarded with all that stuff.
Does the name Cindy ring any bells to you?
Nope, nothing. I don't know anyone named Cindy.
I see.
Right, first things first. I'm gonna come home tomorrow. It's probably an overreaction, but I think you should take Tyler and get away from the house for tonight, just in case.
Right, you're right. If Cindy knows this much, she might know where we live, too. I'll call my dad and have him pick us up and take him to my folks' place.
Yeah, good idea. Also, I don't think you should reply to her anymore until we get a better idea of what's actually going on here.
You're right. I'll think about how to proceed from here while keeping an eye on things and seeing how this all plays out. All right, I'm gonna make the preparations for mine and Tyler's emergency evacuation.
Great. If anything happens, you have to let me know immediately.
Thanks, Vince. You're my rock. I'll be in touch when we get to my folks' place.
Be careful.
Hey, Beth? How did last night's family meeting go? I've been waiting for you to message me for ages. What the heck's going on? Do you have any idea how anxious you made me? I've done nothing but worry after what your jerk of a son did to me, and now you're making my head even worse. I was so anxious I cried all night. Look, don't you feel guilty about what you did to me? Hurry up! I want my $150K and my wedding! Hey! Hurry up! I sent you a picture of me crying, goddammit! Do you have no heart? How can you ignore the fact that your evil son took advantage of a poor, vulnerable young woman for his own financial gain? You're a disgrace to all mothers. Hurry up and tell Tyler to give me back my $150K and put a goddamn ring on my finger! Beth, you better quit ignoring me right now. Is it any wonder Tyler grew up into the kind of guy who makes girls cry with a mother like you? If you keep dragging this out, my patience and kindness will wear thin, and it won't be $150K you owe me, but $250K. Also, I'll demand the wedding be held abroad on a luxurious tropical island. Is that what you want? For me to increase my demands? Hurry up and drag that scumbag Tyler out of hiding pronto.
Vince, I finally found out Cindy's true identity.
Seriously?
Yep, and that's not all. I also know who she means by Tyler.
Oh?
I want to tell you everything in detail. Do you think maybe you could stop off at my folks' place on the way home from work?
I'll be there!
Hey, I am freaking serious here. Stop ignoring me.
Sorry I kept you waiting, Cindy.
Aha, there you are. You kept me waiting for a whole 3 days. That's it. You leave me no choice but to up the stakes to $250K and a foreign wedding.
Listen, Cindy, here's the thing. Tyler is a 2-year-old girl.
Huh?
The reason I'm so late getting back to you is because I wanted to take some measures to ensure my daughter's safety before I did, so please find it in your heart to forgive me. As for your claim, I wish you would have done a more thorough investigation before bombarding me with your threatening messages.
What are you talking about?
You extracted my phone number out of one of my friends, didn't you?
Huh? One of your friends?
I got a message from her. She told me she gave you my number because you approached her outside kindergarten and fed her your nonsense story about Tyler, my 2-year-old, owing you settlement money. She asked me if I ended up getting any messages from you.
Wait, those moms having an idle chit-chat outside the kindergarten were your friends?
Yes. I told her I had no recollection of anything involving settlement money and that she shouldn't blindly accept suspicious stories involving large sums of money owed to strangers, especially when they involve giving out my private information. But then it dawned on me. She was talking about you, wasn't she, Cindy? When I showed her the photo you sent me, she said it was you, beyond any shadow of a doubt. When I asked in more detail about what exactly happened, she said you approached her just around the time they were all talking about the fact that I was planning on buying Tyler that $15 toy aeroplane that's in all the TV commercials right now for her 3rd birthday.
Wait, what? $15? Not $150,000?
Right.
The aeroplane is a toy? Not a real airplane?
Right, of course. My husband's a huge radio communications and aviation geek, and thanks to him, Tyler's really into planes right now.
What the hell is going on here? That's not my Tyler.
Right, of course she isn't. I'm repeating myself now, but my Tyler is a 2-year-old girl.
I wanted to find Tyler to get my revenge on him for what he did to me. And while I was walking around the neighborhood where the kindergarten is, I overheard some people talking about a Tyler whose mom was going to buy him a $150,000 airplane for his birthday. It sounded like they were talking about a super rich family, and I kept hearing the name Tyler, so I put 2 and 2 together, and I thought it was the scumbag who tricked me.
I see. So the harassment you've been subjecting me to over the last few days was all the result of a misunderstanding you made after mishearing something while walking around town?
I misheard them? Oh my God.
The Tyler you're referring to was your male friend and classmate from back when you were attending college in Seattle, wasn't he? The pampered, spoiled son of a very rich family?
Yes, but wait, how do you know all this?
I think the Tyler you're looking for used to live in our neighborhood.
Really?
I came from out of town, so I didn't know the family personally, but according to what the neighbors tell me, he got a job with a major Japanese YouTube manga company straight after graduating college and hasn't even been in the States for the last 5 years.
What? He left 5 years ago?
Supposedly, he used to come back to visit his family, but hasn't been home at all in the last 2 years, what with everything that's been going on in the world lately. Which means it's safe to say the possibility of you being pregnant with his child is precisely 0.
What?
Which begs the question, what on earth were you trying to accomplish by bombarding me with all of this talk of marriage scams and pregnancy?
I've had it with you. Fine, you're right. Well done, Beth. You figured me out. It was all a lie.
I knew it.
But you should know this is still all Tyler's fault. No matter how much poetry or how many love letters I left in his mailbox, he didn't even have the basic decency to reply to me. No, scratch that. He wouldn't even look at me. And what's worse, he even had the nerve to start dating another girl from our class. The most horrible part of it was she wasn't even nearly as pretty as I am. Don't you think that's horrible?
That's a difficult question to answer given that I wasn't there and don't know the circumstances.
But no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't get him off my mind. Then I remembered how I heard his family home was in your neighborhood one time during class back when I was at college. So I rode 6 hours on the bus to pay him a little visit. But then, what I thought was a piece of blessed fortune, that little tidbit of information I happened across when I heard the moms gossiping outside the kindergarten, was actually a different Tyler all along? I can't believe it.
But listen, Cindy, how was anyone ever possibly going to believe any of this nonsense about marriage scams and pregnancies when you hadn't seen each other in over 5 years?
Well, that's simple. Tyler can't handle his alcohol, so I was just going to play it off like we hooked up one night when he was wasted and he didn't remember it.
Wow, I'm at a loss for words. This goes beyond a simple misunderstanding. You're dangerous.
Shut your goddamn mouth, old lady!
By the way, Cindy, word has it you've been reported to the police.
The police? Wait, what?
You're outside my house right now, right? I just got a text from one of the neighbors saying they called the cops because they saw a suspicious girl crouched in the bushes with a pair of binoculars outside my house.
Whoa. Why would they do that? No. You need to explain to the cops that this is all a huge misunderstanding. I didn't break any laws.
I'm pretty sure making threats and trying to blackmail people is in fact against the law, Cindy. Despite the fact this ultimately turned out to be an outrageous case of mistaken identity based on a misunderstanding, doesn't mean it was any less scary for me. If my friend hadn't messaged and explained what was going on, I'd still be none the wiser to the truth and most likely be living in terror of what might happen to me and my daughter. I suggest you have a nice friendly chat with the police and calm yourself down. And count yourself lucky if you get off with nothing but a warning this time.
No, I don't want to talk to the cops. What the hell do you think you're doing?
My daughter and I spent the majority of this saga at my parents' house as refugees. When it was finally time to go home after everything had blown over, when I arrived at the house, I was dismayed to find all of my plant pots smashed into little pieces, and the front door covered in shoe marks that made it seem as though someone had been kicking it repeatedly with quite some force. Luckily, we have a door camera, and something tells me you won't be surprised to hear whose rage-contorted face we found on the footage. We swiftly handed the whole recording in at the police station alongside the chat logs of all her threats against me. When I did, without revealing any details, the sheriff told me she was already under investigation for another crime. The police worked their magic, and before Cindy knew it, she was behind bars. Even though it turned out to be a case of mistaken identity in the end, I still felt a strange sense of relief when I heard the news. Vince and I decided to take Tyler and move out of town, just to be safe. Fortunately, Cindy's parents seemed normal, and they agreed to cover all the costs. Me and Father were at her wits' end. We disowned and kicked her out after her third arrest, thinking it would be for her own good in the long run. How wrong we were, is what the message I got from her mom said. Who would have thought something as simple as my daughter's name could have led to such an absurd sequence of events? Reality really is stranger than fiction. But at least now, we finally have peace and quiet, and more importantly, peace of mind.
Hey, Carl, you there? Where the hell are you, for God's sake? I've been trying to reach you since yesterday. Is everything okay? We scheduled that meeting with both our parents tomorrow. Don't say you forgot about that. We confirmed the schedule the other day just in case. You're not in some kind of trouble, are you? I got a call from your mom today, too. She was saying she couldn't get a hold of you at all. She was really worried. I think she was texting you every 10 minutes. Where the hell are you? You know your parents live really far away. It was also hard for them to get a connecting flight here. They took the time and trouble to come out here to meet us. The least you can do is contact them and put them at ease. Come on, Carl, what's the deal? I'm sure you know, but we're meeting at 11 p.m. at the Italian restaurant on 5th Street. You know the place. We had dinner there last month. Don't be late. I'll be outside waiting for you just in case. You better show up, Carl. Don't be late. I mean it. And wear that gray suit like we discussed. Carl, come on, answer me. Where the hell are you? I thought I told you to be here. It's way past 11. It's almost noon. We couldn't wait any longer, so we already ordered. Where the hell are you? What's up? Did something happen? Are you in trouble or something? Is your phone out of order? I got a hold of your coworker and he tells me you've been coming to work every day. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. You worked yesterday and went home at the usual time, according to him. You do know I've been sending you text messages. It's all been saved. Check your incoming text record. You must be seeing it, right? If you don't have an issue with your Line app, I would really appreciate it if you would contact me. I'm sure our folks feel the same way, so please, everyone is super worried.
Oh, hey, that you, Brenda? I see you've been texting me all morning. I forgot to charge it last night. Sorry about that.
Carl, where have you been? We've been worried sick.
I've been right here. Been a while, huh?
Been a while? Are you out of your mind? You sound like you just woke up or something. Why the devil may care attitude? I sent you countless messages. You haven't forgotten what day it is, have you? Both our parents are here at the Italian restaurant. We scheduled this meeting months ago.
Pardon me? The Italian what? Why are you having Italian now? Are you at the place on 5th Street? Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember now. What an idiot.
I sent you a Line message yesterday. By the sound of it, you haven't read it. I don't believe this. What's wrong with you, Carl?
I'm sorry. What can I say?
Where the hell are you right now? What were you doing all this time? I've never known you to be this forgetful.
Let's see. How should I put this? I finished work, then I met up with some buddies. And then we ended up at my friend's place, and we started drinking there, which lasted until maybe 7 a.m. or so.
Hang on. What? You were drinking with your buddies? You guys were up until 7 a.m. drinking? Do you have some sort of mental defect, Carl?
Yeah, well, what can I say? They just wouldn't take no for an answer. Just getting married and all. I figured it would be the last time. Night out with the guys.
Is that why you couldn't contact us? You were too drunk? Is that the reason for making us all worry? Really?
Yeah, well, not only that, but I was busy at work too. Been doing a lot of overtime. I have the big project we're working on. Yeah, it's really stressful. If you're talking about now, well, I was drinking with my buddies. I got a lot going on. Do I really have to explain all this to you right now?
So what time are you going to get here? Everyone is waiting for you. We already ordered coffee, but we can have coffee when you get here. If you get here, that is.
Huh? Get where? I'm not going anywhere.
The meeting with our parents? What? Are you still drunk?
Oh, yeah, about that. Got super throbbing headache at the moment. You know what, Brenda? Can we just cancel that? I really don't think I can make it. Anyway, I would have to get up, shower, shave, and change. Catch a cab there. I'll never make it.
Huh? Am I hearing you right? Back up a bit, would you? You're not coming? Is that what you're saying?
We drank until morning, and I'm super tired. I haven't slept a wink, and this hangover is killing me. And I'm ready to throw up. So, sorry about this, but apologize to our folks for me, would you?
What the hell are you talking about, Carl? Everyone is already here. We're all waiting on you for God's sake. Your folks flew in from the East Coast. They finally got a connecting flight here.
Come on, Brenda. Relax. No need to get all hot under the collar. There's plenty of time later. It doesn't have to be today. Just reschedule. We'll do it next week or something, no problem.
Are you serious? What do you think this is? This is really important to me. We're talking about us getting married.
Oh yeah, did we reserve a private room at the restaurant? I'll pay for that later on, so. And the whole bill, it's on me. No need to worry about that. What do you say? Everything good to go, huh?
I don't care if you pay or not. That's not what I'm saying.
Come on, Brenda, you're really giving me a splitting headache right about now. I'd rather not hear it. And like I said, my stomach is acting up and don't want to see last night's dinner. I bet it's just you and your mom anyways, am I right? Just have a nice lunch with her, why don't you?
What? Yeah, she really wanted to meet you. See you in person. I only had good things to say about you, so she wanted to check you out herself. She'll be disappointed.
I'm doing you a favor, Brenda. I'm marrying someone from a not-so-well-to-do family. You should actually be grateful to me. Just do as I say and let this go, would you?
Pardon me? That really wasn't called for. How could you say that? Are you saying I'm poor? Just because I'm from a single-parent home doesn't make me some sort of pauper that needs a handout. I want you to apologize.
No need to get all steamed up about it, Brenda. Just cancel the damn meeting for today. Reschedule it, would you? You're there at the restaurant now. Make another appointment for next week or something. My friends and I are too wasted to even get out of bed. No way I'm making it over there anytime soon. So please, take care of it. Let's talk about this later, huh?
You have no intention of coming today. Is that final?
Don't go psycho on me now. What's the big deal anyways? You know what? I'm about to conk out again. I can hardly keep my damn eyes open. The meeting has been terminated. It's no more. Loud and clear. Tell my folks and your mom to rest up and we'll do this again another day. Simple. Am I getting my point across to you?
Yeah, if that's the way you want it. Loud and clear, Lord and Master. That was an important day for me, and I hope you will take responsibility for ruining everything. And you will, I assure you.
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. Can I go now? Hey, Brenda, how you doing? Sorry about the other day. Let's reschedule the meeting we were supposed to have a few days ago. What do you say, huh? Did you make that reservation at the Italian place, or did you change venues?
Reschedule? What are you talking about? That was a few days ago. You didn't show up, remember?
Oh, come on, Brenda. The parents' meeting we're supposed to reschedule. You know, the meeting where our parents are supposed to meet before we get married. Haven't had your morning coffee yet, I see. Unlike your mom, who is a single mom, according to you. On the other hand, my dad runs his own business, so he's super busy. Just hope he has the time. What's your mom do? Part-time at the supermarket? Anyway, I hope my dad can work it into his schedule.
Oh, really? Yeah, busy dad. He told me all about it. Good to know. I finally understand why my mom insisted that I not reveal who she really is during the meeting. That there was plenty of time to do it later.
Right. What the hell are you talking about? Reveal what? That she's a cashier? Come on, Brenda, make sense, would ya? Just cut to the chase.
My mother also runs her own business.
Wait a second. So, are you saying your mom has her own company? That she's, what, the president of a company?
Yes, she's the current CEO of Trend International. I'm sure you've heard of it. I mean, you work with them, is what I heard.
Hang on a second, Trend International? You can't be serious, not that Trend International. Come to think of it, you guys do have the same last name. Why didn't you tell me this before?
Yeah, well, it's a pretty common last name, so maybe we didn't put two and two together. But to be honest, I thought you worked it out. Guess I was wrong about you. In more ways than one, it turns out. Trend International does business with your company. You're one of their major clients, if I'm correct, and I hear you're the account manager, is that right?
Yeah, well, I was the project.
But you don't seem to be doing a very good job. At least that's what I hear. Screwed up some major deals several months ago.
Where'd you hear that? That deal was not under my supervision. That was...
You apparently tried to seduce a rep from Trend International on that project last month. It got so hard that she was subsequently replaced with a male rep. That's what I heard. Not a very good look, to say the least. But you didn't learn your lesson, did you? Every time you visited the Trend headquarters, you would try to pick up on the receptionist. Did you know that there were many complaints to the HR department about your antics, Carl? So don't try to deny it. But one young woman got snared in your little sweet-talking trap. You canceled that meeting a few days ago and went on a little 3-day romp with your newfound bedfellow. What was her name? Was it Sarah Conway by any chance? Says here she's 28 years old, currently front desk receptionist at Trend International. And also she's been at her position for over 2 years.
Huh? How'd you know that? Who told you about her? That's confidential, you know?
You also know that she's married, right? Well, it seems Sarah's not too shy about having all kinds of lovers despite being married. Yes, Carl, she's married. Or did you already know that? She was telling all her coworkers about you and your little sexual escapades. As a matter of fact, she seemed to relish telling everyone about her romantic exploits.
Why the hell did she go and do that, for God's sake?
That rumor spread throughout the office and finally reached my mom, the CEO of Trend International. That was a few days before that meeting we were supposed to have, and which you failed to show up. She prepared some simple business cards just for the meeting, cards that don't indicate her CEO status, mind you. She wanted to see your reaction when she met you, see if you would lie through your teeth, which I imagine would probably have been the case. And we know how that turned out. You canceled and went on your little love fest and didn't show. There was really no need for her to meet you. She knew right then and there what kind of person you were. A despicable scoundrel is what she perceived you to be.
Hold on a second. Before you continue, where did you even hear that I went on a trip with Sarah?
She's been uploading all kinds of photos on Instagram.
Instagram? The social media app for photos and videos?
Yeah, my mom has an account too. So she found your page when you were having fun at some ritzy resort somewhere. Sarah was uploading photos saying it was a trip with her girlfriends, but for some reason, you always seem to appear in the background of every photo.
Oh, I told her not to upload those photos, for God's sakes. She was always snapping pictures and uploading them. I told her not to take any of me.
My mom even checked when the photos were taken, and lo and behold, the exact same time as the meeting. Who would have thought? What they can do nowadays is simply amazing. That's when we all determined that you were the good-for-nothing scoundrel we all suspected. I made my decision right then and there. No marriage for me, thank you. I don't want anything more to do with you.
Come on, Brenda, scoundrel, really? That's going a bit too far, don't you think? And the photos, that could possibly be someone else. Someone that just looks just like me. What's the big deal? You want to break up just for that? Come on, grow up, Brenda. This is just a little fling. It won't affect our marriage.
I told you about how Sarah blabbed about everything. Are you saying that's not enough proof? It's not only that. My mom says she's going to show me later today, but apparently she has an infinite amount of evidence of your cheating and bad behavior.
You're kidding me, right? Did she hire a private eye or something? You trapped me, that's what you did.
Anyways, we were never really officially engaged. It was just all a verbal agreement, and we never had any physical relationship to speak of. So, rest assured, I don't plan on getting a cent from you. Although I did talk to our lawyer and he said I could pursue some sort of legal process, but I decided against it.
Really? I appreciate that.
But you're forgetting Sarah. She's married and her husband is not all that happy about what you did. I would be surprised if he didn't hire a lawyer and made you pay for ruining his marriage. That's what most people would do given the circumstances.
Oh shit, he's hiring a lawyer? Has he already retained one? Do you know him?
You better ask him. I don't have anything to do with it. I recommend you pay your dues, Carl.
Damn it, are you serious? I can't afford this. What am I gonna do? Oh, what a friggin' mess.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention one important point. Maybe you better sit down first. Her father, David Conway? I was informed that he's your immediate boss. Is that right? The story goes that he was a project manager last year and met his wife while visiting Trend International.
No way, that can't be right. He's Sarah's husband? Do you realize that Mr. Conway is related to the president? His nephew or something. He could be CEO someday. He could get me fired on the spot if he wanted.
My God, Carl, you sure got a lot on your plate. I really wouldn't want to be in your shoes right about now.
Well, that's what the devil may care attitude. I'm up shit's creek for sure. Why is everything stacked against me, for God's sakes?
Hey, did I mention that I don't care? I told you I don't want anything to do with you anymore. Figure it out for yourself, Carl. I terminated this relationship. Have you already forgotten? Why should I care what some stranger thinks or does?
Come on, Brenda. Don't be like that. Help me out here. Please forgive me. I was not thinking straight. I should have been there for you. I should have gone to the meeting. My bad. You're the only one in this world that I love. Please, give me another chance. I promise you I will never cheat on you again. I swear to God, cross my heart and hope to die. So please, I'm pleading with you, Brenda. Please help me out here. What am I gonna do from now on? Brenda, please! I just got fired from my job. Can you believe it? I'm out of a job. What the hell am I gonna do?
Ugh, not you again, Carl. I was sure you were gone from my life. Why'd you have to contact me again? I thought I said I wanted nothing more to do with you. I thought I had cleaned my hands of you. I finally found time to relax and think about my future, and you have to ruin everything. You're really good at ruining things, you know that, Carl?
But I had nobody else to turn to. You're the only person left in my life. My folks completely cut me off. They want nothing to do with me. They were furious that I didn't show up to that meeting and then all that followed. I tried apologizing, but they just wouldn't listen.
Yeah, well, you had it coming. Take it like a man, Carl. I mean, think about it. You seduced the receptionist at one of your top customers, and then it turns out that this receptionist is your boss's wife. I mean, come on. What did you think would happen?
But I had no idea. How was I supposed to know? It's not like I planned it this way.
That's your problem. Carl, you never plan anything. But you did know that she was married. That alone makes you culpable.
But why did I have to lose my job? I mean, come on. I was pretty good at it. They could have at least had me transferred to some affiliate or something. But outright fired? Why?
So, what do you want? Why'd you text me? I'm not doing anything for you, Carl. I told you that. And that's final. I really don't have time for this. Stop mucking around for Pete's sake.
I had all this time on my hands and I just got to thinking. Maybe there was a reason why I was fired. Maybe it's a chance of some kind. A chance to redeem myself. It's God's way of saying, go for it, Carl. You got what it takes. Like he's telling me to take this chance.
Chance? What are you talking about?
Your mom's company, Trend International. I'll take over on her behalf. What do you say?
I think I'm ready to check out. I know God's talking to you and all, but have you totally lost it? Why would you even think that?
Just think about it. You're working in a completely different field, right? You have no plans or any desire to become the company's CEO, right?
No, I have no such intention. You're right about that.
Well then, that makes everything so much easier. I was in charge of several accounts of Trend International, as you probably know, which means I know this business inside and out. I know the people in charge and how the entire business structure works. Long story short, you and I get married and I take over as CEO and the company is headed towards success. Pretty good, huh? This is a chance of a lifetime.
You really must have come down with something. Maybe you should see a doctor. You know, the type that examines your brain. Or maybe God's just giving you bad advice.
I'm fine. What are you talking about?
As for the next in line to take over as CEO, there's already 2 highly eligible candidates ready in the wings to take over. You're probably asking who. I bet you want to know. Actually, I don't know, but I know that it's still a long way off. There's plenty of time to decide. They're going to prove themselves for the next few years. It's not as easy as just taking over. They have to demonstrate their abilities in the coming years, and the best man will be chosen to take over as CEO of Trend International. That's how things are done in business, Carl. You can't just be handed an important position like that. You have to earn it.
Huh? Sounds like a useless, long, drawn-out process. If you and I marry, I can take over the business, no problem.
Am I getting this right? What did I just say? You'd think if you married the president's daughter that you would automatically become the company's CEO?
Yeah, sounds like the prudent thing to do. No need for all the fuss. I have experience with Trend International. I know the ins and outs and have the connections. What more do you want?
My mom doesn't want a fake ornamental person in that position.
Fake? Ornamental? Are you insinuating that I would be some kind of decoration? That I would be a king with no clothes?
Exactly. She doesn't want some self-important guy with mediocre business skills to be lounging in the presidential office acting as though he's earned the right. She wants someone with charisma, someone with the skill to motivate the employees, someone with a sound business mind, not a deadbeat like you.
But I could.
And most importantly, not some guy who would cheat on his fiancée and have an affair with a married woman. And the fact that you knew she was married and seduced her, anyway, I mean, how low can you get? I want nothing to do with you, and neither does my mom. Which means Trend International.
Come on, Brenda, give me a break, would you, please? I'm in a real jam right now. I don't have money, but then I get this letter from Conway's lawyer demanding payment for damages. What's more, Sarah got divorced and had nowhere to go, so now she's living with me. She lost her job at Trend International, too. We're both out of a job. How are we supposed to live? She also got taken for all she had, so she got completely cleaned out. Our future looks totally bleak, and I mean bleak as hell. You've got to help us out, Brenda.
You guys are really in a super tight spot, but like I keep saying, what the hell does this have to do with me?
Huh? How can you say that? We were gonna get married. We hit it off once. Let's try again. One last chance, please, Brenda.
Goodbye, Carl.
Wait, Brenda, please.
I immediately blocked him after that. I really should have done it way sooner. It was like I peeked into a deep black hole of despair, like I was going to get sucked right in. And I also still felt a little frightened. I mean, he was pretty frantic the last time we talked. I always found myself looking over my shoulder whenever I went out, thinking he might pop up from around the corner at any time. I talked to my boss at the office about my predicament, and he suggested I take a position at one of their branch offices in another state. But what really piqued my interest is that they even had a company dormitory available. So, after some thought, I took up his offer. It was pretty hectic, but I packed up all my meager belongings and finally moved in the other day. Fortunately, it seems I was saved in the nick of time. A friend informed me that Carl came to my old apartment and started banging on my door late at night. Apparently he had a little too much to drink. I was long gone, so the place was totally empty, but that didn't deter him one bit. He climbed onto the second-floor veranda and broke in, smashing the glass in the process. As you can imagine, the neighbors called the cops thinking it was a burglar, and he was caught red-handed and hauled away to jail. I thought he would just be released to his parents or something, but it turns out he was thrown into some sort of facility. Not exactly a prison, but close. Just hope that place knocked some sense into him.
Hey, Iris. Do you have a moment to talk?
Right now? Sure. What's going on?
Well, this has to do with the trip we're taking starting tomorrow. Nadia is going to be coming along with us.
What? Nadia's going to be coming along with us on this trip?
That's right. After talking with Nadia yesterday about the trip we planned to take, she told me she wanted to go along with us as well. So I invited her along to join us on this fun family trip.
Wait. What do you mean you just invited her along? You saying it so casually like that is a huge problem. Tomorrow is when we're all planning on heading out.
Nadia said that she'll be ready in time for tomorrow, so we don't have to worry about her. She's already started packing while we're here speaking.
Wait, I'm not worried about the fact that she'll be packed or not for the trip. You do realize that this trip is a family trip, and that means that it's just meant to be between us and your parents, right? And, well,
You're asking for a random woman to come and join us on this trip that's supposed to be only for the family. I'm not sure how I feel about this.
What do you mean, random person? Nadia is a long-time friend of mine, right? We've known each other ever since we were tiny, and she's always been around me and my family. She's pretty much a sister to me, honestly.
I'm sure to you things may seem that way between you two, but to me, I'm not really that comfortable being around her.
You don't have to be worked up over here. She's not going to do anything to you, and she won't expect anything from you either. She actually happens to be a really outgoing woman, so you and her will get along quite well, to be honest.
This is not about us communicating with one another. Tomorrow is the trip, right? We already made reservations for just 4 people to stay, and there isn't any available room for her. I'm not sure the resort will take too kindly to us just changing the amount of people we'd like to have on our reservation.
I'm sure the resort will be fine with us adding 1 extra person. You think they'd throw a fit over something like that? And when they bring food to our rooms every morning, they can always bring extra so she can have that. You are getting way too worked up over nothing here.
Wait, there is also the car situation. The car will only fit about 4 people into it, so she won't be able to ride with us.
Car situation. Well, let's do this. We can have Nadia ride in the car with us, and you can take the bus there or something.
What?
Well, since there can only be 4 people fit into the car, I'll be the one driving, and I'll have Nadia ride shotgun, and Mum and Dad in the back seats. So you can go ahead and take a bus there, and we'll all meet there once everyone arrives.
What? Why me?
Why you? Because Nadia doesn't know anything about the resort and where it's at. If we have her take the bus there or something, she'd probably get lost on the way. She's not really used to travelling by herself, so it would be best for her to come with me in the car. I think you're far more used to riding buses and travelling on your own, so you go ahead and take one. Don't you feel like that's the best option here?
Huh?
Also, there's this. At the resort, you're going to be with my parents. Remember, we reserved 2 rooms in that suite there, right? One for my parents and one for you and I. Well, I'm thinking that Nadia and I will share a room, and you can be with my parents. How's that sound?
Huh? Why would you suggest something as stupid as that to me? Don't you think that she should be in a room with your parents and you and I get a room to ourselves? Why, when you and I are husband and wife, do I have to be with your parents?
What's wrong with that? Do you not want to be with my parents?
It's not that I don't want to be with them. Rather, I'm going to be thinking about how you are sharing a room with Nadia. I'm not going to do something like that. And it's not even like these rooms are going to be that big anyway, so I'm going to be smothered by both your mom and dad. This is not okay, Lucas. Anyway, I've already told you we can't just ask the resort to increase the amount of people on the reservation, right? It's too late. I'm sorry, but it's a no-go from me on having Nadia come along with us this time. Now go tell her no.
If I went back to her now and said no, I'd feel terrible for her. She's been looking forward to this trip for the past couple of hours. It's totally fine that we'll be bringing 1 extra person along. If the resort does have any issues with her coming, then I'll be the one paying for her, all right? That should make you happy, right?
What? When making the plans for this whole trip, you said you wouldn't pay for any of my trip and stay, saying that it was mine to pay for. So I had to use up my bonus from this year to pay for this trip. But when it's for Nadia, you're all in on paying for her to come on the trip.
What's wrong with that? Stop trying to make it seem like you hate all of this. Now, this is all fine with you, right?
No, it's not. Let me tell you right now that Nadia is not just some normal longtime friend of yours. I've heard plenty of times from your mom that in the past you both dated for a while. So in other words, Nadia is your ex-girlfriend, right? What the heck do you think you're doing, bringing your ex-girlfriend on a family trip with both your parents and your wife? I don't think any of this is funny if it's some kind of joke. I do not want her coming along with us.
What's gotten into you? You jealous of her or something? You are such a loser for being jealous of someone like her.
This is not about me being jealous of her. This is the family trip that I had to plan out and then pay for. This is about me wondering why out of all the people you planned to bring along on this trip last minute, you chose to want to bring your ex-girlfriend. And why are we still talking about her as though you want to be around her all the time? I'm your wife. Why do you want her around you all the time on this trip when I'm the person you're supposed to love? This is all completely screwed up.
Oh, you are such a pain in my neck, Iris. I've told you already that Nadia is just a long-time friend of mine now, and that's it. And the only reason we dated in the past is because both of our families are friends with each other. Being around one another all the dang time would lead to us trying out the dating life with one another, right? And let's be honest, you came far later than her in my life. So just give it up and deal with her.
Deal with her? What? You're going to mess up all the plans I worked so hard on making the day before the trip when you never once helped me in any way setting all this up? I had to reserve the resort and pay for all that. I had to reserve all the food and pay for that. And I'm supposedly the one paying for gas. But now you want me to ride the bus there separately and then stay in a room with your mom and dad? You really think I'm just going to deal with all of that? You have no right.
Oh, jeez. You're being so freaking rude now. My mum said this was fine having Nadia join us. I just got off the phone with her a little bit ago, and she said she'd love to have Nadia on the family trip. Even my dad said it would be all right to have her tag along. So right now it's 3-1, and the three of us want her to come along.
Huh? You're telling me that both your parents are fine with all this as well? They're fine with both the car situation and the resort?
Yes, they both are. The only person that's against all of this is you, all right? Can you give up on fighting me on this and just let it be? I think it's best that you stop trying to piss me off any further, all right? I hate having to deal with jealous women with you right now.
Is that so? All right, then. Then go ahead and do whatever you guys want. And as for tomorrow, I'll be taking the bus instead.
Now, was that so hard? You could have just started with all that and we would have been completely fine. Now I'm going to get all your things out of the car and put them in the garage, and I'm going to let Nadia know that she can bring her stuff over whenever to put in the trunk. Thanks, Iris. Hey, wait a minute, Iris. Where is the key to the car? It's not where it normally should be. Right now, everyone is at the house ready to take off. Mom and Dad and Nadia. Since I don't have the key on me, I can't even unlock the car. Did you have any idea where it might have been left?
I happen to have it on me right now. Did you need it?
What? Wait, you're already on the way to the resort now, right? Right?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm on my way to the resort right now. The bus actually arrived a little earlier than expected, so I'm just here waiting on you guys at the bus stop. Ah, and the spare key for the car is also in my purse.
What the hell were you thinking? You have both the car keys on you, which means that all of us won't be able to take the car. How are the four of us supposed to get to the resort now?
Well?
Iris, are you trying to piss me off right now?
Who do you think is more pissed off at the moment? I think that I am far more pissed off than you are, and I have been all day. This was the family trip that I put all my time into planning and then had to pay for with all my bonus. And you think that you can just start inviting whoever you want to come along a day before we leave? And what's worse is you wanted to bring along your longtime friend, who also happens to be your girlfriend, and have her ride in the car with you all while making me take the train? And then you want me sleeping in a small room with both your parents while you and her get to share a bed together? How much more were you going to screw with me like that, you jerk? After something like that, I'm not sure I'll be able to fathom the frickin' nerve you have. And the fact that your parents agreed with you on that says a lot of things to me. So I'm done with you being such a pain in my neck. I'm going to get a divorce from you, and then you can be with your ex-girlfriend all you want.
Well, wait, hold on, a divorce? Wait a second, calm the heck down. Do you have any idea what a divorce even is?
Are you going to keep acting like I don't know what's going on here? I know dang well what a divorce means. It will allow for you to run off with that longtime friend of yours and have the relationship you've both been wanting to have.
Wait, are you freaking kidding me right now? You actually plan on getting a divorce from me now, just over something like this?
Just over something like this? What? You think that what you've been up to is just something simple? I see. So it's just normal for you to go around flaunting your affair in front of my face like that? Well, then that's enough of me putting up with you and your dang family now. I am going to end you all. You, your parents, and that woman you've been cheating on me with.
Wait, cheating on you? Cheating on you with her? I told you that Nadia and I do not have that kind of relationship with one another. I get that we went on a date once before, but right now the two of us are just longtime friends. Nothing else. You're way too crazy about all this stuff.
I am? Do you think that I have no clue about what's been going on with you and her? I have heard a lot from that longtime friend of yours, Lucas, about how when you say you have to work overtime, you're really up to something else. I've heard all the details about it because I receive a text about it every time. Sending me pictures every single time you both are together, bragging about how she gets to be with you.
What?
At the start of all this, I didn't want to think it was anything significant. But recently, things with her have only been getting worse. Sending me pictures of you both sleeping on bed together naked, and some of you both hanging out in different hotel rooms together.
What? Wait, are you serious? No, wait.
I've gone ahead and saved all those pictures to my phone, and now I have all the proof I need of you and Nadia being more than just longtime friends. And not just the photos, but screenshots of her bragging to me about what you both were up to, and recorded voicemails you sent me saying that you'd have to stay at work late again. With all this evidence I have, I could send you right to hell. Go ahead and start getting all your money in order. You're going to need it for the settlement I'm asking for. I plan to get in touch with a lawyer really soon here.
No, hold on for just a minute. You have this all completely wrong, all right? I'm literally nothing to Nadia besides a friend, and that goes both ways with us. You are the woman I love the most, and only you, all right? So, let's just both calm down a bit here. We can both take some time to breathe and talk all this through.
I'm already quite calm, actually, besides the occasional anger. Also, when you say that I'm the woman you love the most, that must mean there is another woman you love the second most, right? And maybe even a third? People that cheat really don't know how to phrase what they want to say properly, do they?
You're wrong. You have this all wrong. Hey, can we please take a moment to discuss all of this in person? We can all get on the bus right now and meet you there to talk this all over.
Well, if you want to come all the way out here, then be my guest. But there's no place for you guys to stay out here, all right?
What? Wait, but we still have the other room, right? We reserved 2 rooms for the 5 of us.
The 5 of us? I only ever reserved 1 room. And it's a larger room for my sister and my parents to all stay in with me. Well, I had always planned for us to all share one large family room, but I didn't want to waste it all on myself. There would also be way too much food for just me to eat, so I asked my parents and my older sister to come out and stay with me. So even if you did come on the next bus, there wouldn't be a room here open for you guys. And since it's the middle of spring break, I'm not so sure you'll find a room at any of the hotels or resorts here. But if you all really want to come out here, then get ready to sleep out in a park somewhere.
What? Iris, You asked your family to come along without asking me for permission first? This is supposed to be a trip for my family to go on.
Wow, have the tables really turned on you or what? Who was the one that invited a complete stranger on this family trip without ever asking me first? Go ahead and get mad at me all you want for this, but this has made us even now. Remember when I said I wasn't going to let this all happen anymore? Well, here we are. I'm no longer taking any of your crap, and I'm going to be serving what you've given me right back.
Wait, no way. I'm telling you that I really have not been cheating on you.
Go ahead and keep saying that to me. I love watching you freak out like a little ant drowning in water. Just know that you saying you've not been cheating isn't going to do anything for you. I have loads of evidence that says otherwise.
No, you seriously are making a huge mistake right now. Just freaking believe me.
All you have to say to me anymore is that I'm the one who's misunderstanding things, and not once have you apologized to me yet. I guess even now, while you're caught red-handed, you still think everything you've done isn't wrong?
Wait, no. Sorry, I made a big mistake this time. I'm so dang sorry for everything I did to you recently.
I asked for an apology from you, not this shallow and heartless BS. When I'm done spending time with my family here, I'll get to work on the divorce.
So until then, can you sit tight and be quiet for me? I'm really excited to relax at this amazing resort that I picked out. And I don't need to keep having my phone go off about something that's not my fault.
Wait.
See you, Lucas. From there, I went ahead and turned all notifications from Lucas off and ignored him. I was then able to meet up with my mom, dad, and my sister, and the four of us were able to enjoy the resort, while eating amazing foods and drinking lots of alcohol. I guess it really is the most fun when you go on trips with those you can love and trust. After our stay at the resort was over, I went home with both my parents, and there I got in touch with a lawyer to start working on the divorce. I started showing all the evidence I had of Lucas cheating on me with Nadia, and the whole meeting with my lawyer went by smoother than butter. Both Lucas and his parents came to my parents' house begging for me to not go through with the divorce. But I wasn't going to have it, and made sure to divorce Lucas while also getting a settlement from both him and Nadia. And what do you know? 2 months after the divorce, Lucas and Nadia got married to one another. But when it came to Nadia, she may have been a really good lover to Lucas, but as his wife, she was a no-go. And once again, due to cheating, the relationship they had went cold in half a year. Then Lucas tried to get back in touch with me, trying to get me to come back to his side and marry him. But by that point in time, I was with another man that my older sister had introduced me to. And when I told him I was already married, he shut up and would never talk to me again after that. I really hope he realizes nobody's going to want him around them when he thinks it's all right to invite another woman on a family trip with his wife and parents. Luckily for me, I have a new husband now who is both really kind to me and treats me as though I'm his equal. And from here on, I'm going to forget about that idiot ex of mine and put all my head into thinking about my true love.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Tony? Hey, Tony, do you have a moment? I've tried to be mindful of the time difference before reaching out.
Oh, Lydia. Hey, Lydia, you're good. This is actually a perfect time to chat. Your timing is spot on.
Is that so? Great!
Something on your mind?
I was wondering when your next trip back to the U.S. might be.
Huh?
I know your overseas assignment is supposed to be for a year, but you mentioned you might be able to make a short visit back, right? It's almost Easter over here, so I was thinking, how's that looking on your end? Do you have any holidays coming up around that time?
Well, around Easter, we don't really have any extended holidays on this side.
Oh, I see. I figured that might be the case. So in other words, you don't know exactly when you'll be able to come back at this point, right?
Well, yeah, but the work environment here is pretty flexible, and it's easier for me to take long vacations if I need to. When the time comes, I'll definitely let you know ahead of time.
So if I don't hear from you beforehand, I should assume you're not coming back for a visit anytime soon, right?
Why so sudden?
Huh?
It's been about 6 months since I moved overseas for work, and this is the first time you've asked me something like that.
Oh, no, it's nothing. I didn't mean anything deep by it.
Really?
Yeah, I have something I need to take care of, so I'll catch you later.
Wait, how's Mia doing?
Oh, she's doing great, really, but I've got to run, so talk soon.
Okay.
Tony, do you have a moment?
Huh? Mom, is that you?
I wasn't sure about the time difference over there, so I thought I'd just try texting.
At this time, it's no problem at all.
Oh, that's good to hear. Well, I'll just continue then.
Yeah, what's going on?
So earlier today, Mia came over to my house.
What? Mia came over?
Yes, she walked over all by herself. It seems it rained on her the way here. She must have found some shelter from the rain, but I don't think she could avoid stepping into puddles. By the time she reached my place, her shoes and socks were completely soaked.
Wait, hold on a second. From my house to yours, that's over 3 miles, right? You're telling me that a 5-year-old girl walked that entire distance in the rain, no less? Sure, the route is pretty straightforward once you hit the main road, just a straight shot from there, but still, what on earth happened? And where the hell is Lydia in all this? She usually works part-time during the weekdays, right? On Sundays, she should be at home. At least that's the assumption. There's no way Mia's mother, Lydia, hasn't realized her own daughter's gone missing from the house, right?
I thought the same thing, so I tried calling Lydia's cell phone, but either it's turned off or something because I couldn't get through at all. I even tried calling your landline, but no one picked up there either.
Is that so? Did you try contacting Lydia's parents' house?
Not yet. I didn't want to make a big fuss about it without having more information. I thought it would be best to talk to you first, since you're Mia's father.
I see. Got it. Did Mia herself say anything about what happened?
Well, here's the thing. She keeps saying, I'm not supposed to tell, Mama told me not to, and she's been crying the whole time. I tried calming her down with some warm milk, but she fell asleep right after that, so I haven't been able to get any more out of her.
I see. In that case, it's probably best not to press her for more right now. Thanks for taking care of her, by the way.
Oh, it's nothing. She's my precious granddaughter, after all.
So, sorry to impose, but today's the start of a 2-day holiday there in the U.S., right? Would it be okay for you to watch Mia at your place during the holiday?
Of course, that's no problem at all.
Actually, the truth is, I'm coming back to the U.S. in 2 days.
Oh, is that so?
By the time I arrive, I should have figured out more of the situation. I'll explain everything to you then. Oh, and please don't tell anyone about me coming back.
Not even Mia?
Sorry, but yes, I can't rule out the possibility that Lydia might try to get in touch without us knowing.
Is there something you're suspecting?
Well, yeah. It's not something concrete just yet, so I'd rather not go into too many details right now. But I think she's cheating on me.
Cheating? Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't have solid evidence yet, but her recent behavior has been really suspicious. She's been hiding her phone a lot, avoiding eye contact with me. I've been pretending not to notice, but I'm at my limit now.
Maybe Mia's picked up on that too.
That's possible, but if that's the case, I really don't want to ask Mia about it directly. Her mother's still important to her, and I don't want to put any more emotional stress on her than she's already dealing with.
You're right, that's the best approach.
In any case, please take care of Mia until I get back. If anything changes or there are any developments, please let me know right away.
Of course.
Thanks, Mom. I'll be in touch later.
Got it. Take care of yourself, okay?
Lydia, do you have a moment?
Oh, Tony, is that you?
I don't really have anything urgent to discuss, but I had some free time, so I thought I'd check in and see how you're doing. Are you doing well?
Yes, I'm doing great. Mia and I are having a lot of fun together.
That's good to hear.
How about you? How's life overseas treating you? I remember you mentioning that there was a famous tourist spot nearby. Have you had a chance to visit it yet?
Not yet. This first year of my assignment, I really need to focus on settling in and getting used to the new environment, so it's been a bit challenging to find the time.
I see.
So what are you up to right now?
Huh? Right now? I was just watching TV with Mia.
Oh, I see. You're spending time with Mia then.
Oh, I can't believe I almost forgot. I need to go shopping. Mia requested soup for dinner, but I realized we don't have the essential eggs.
So dinner is Mia's request, huh?
Yes, anyway, I've got to run. Talk to you later.
Sure, take care. Talk soon. Mom, I'm back in the U.S.
Welcome home, Tony.
Thank you. Feels good to be back.
So you're coming straight here instead of going home, right?
Yeah, sorry about that, but I'll be relying on you for a bit. By the way, Mia has been with you this whole time, right?
Yes, she has. Today's the last day of the 2-day holiday, but she's been at my house the entire time.
So that means Lydia has been lying after all. I texted her earlier asking how's Mia, and she replied that they're spending time together at home.
I see.
There hasn't been any sign that she's worried about Mia being gone. I wonder what she's thinking. In any case, I'll tell you everything I know when I get back. Right now, I'm on the bus. I'm gonna stop by the private investigator I hired to hear their report on the way home. I think I'll arrive at your place in the evening.
Got it. Oh, please take care.
Daddy? Dad?
Wait, Dad? This is a message from Lydia.
Daddy, it's Mia.
Mia!
Listen, Dad. Mom's wallet is empty and I haven't eaten anything for 5 days. Dad and Mom have been fighting in bed the whole time and it's really scary.
Huh?
You and Mom live apart and now you're not in America right now, right? Why are you fighting in bed for so long?
Well,
Mom told me to call her friend. So is the person with Mom a fake dad? Dad, help me.
Huh? Who are you?
Huh?
Did you think you wouldn't be found out just because I'm overseas? You might think you're fooling me with this nonsense as a 5-year-old, but don't underestimate me.
Dad?
You see, the real Mia is here with me right now.
What?
So who are you?
Well,
I guess I don't need to ask. You're Lydia, aren't you?
No, it's not.
You're sending messages pretending to be my daughter from your own phone, aren't you?
Huh? What?
By the way, you said Mia is with you? I didn't mention it, but I'm back in the US temporarily.
What?
The message I received yesterday was just after I arrived back home.
Why did you come back? What about work?
I have a meeting at the headquarters after the holiday. I thought I'd take advantage of this temporary return to expose your affair.
What?
Ideally, I want to get you to sign the divorce papers and move towards claiming alimony.
Wait, why?
Mia finally told me that she was told to call some strange man Dad. When she refused, they kicked her out of the house, telling her to go to Grandma's and not come back during the holiday.
Grandma's place?
Did you think she would go to your mother's house? Unfortunately, Mia showed up at my mother's house.
What?
When I checked with your mother, it turns out she's currently on a trip with her friends. So Mia made the judgment to walk the 3 miles to my mother's house, who's her other grandmother.
Wait, how do you know all of this? Why do you know about Mia's whereabouts and your affair when you just got back?
Why would I not know?
Because...
That area is my hometown, you know. I have friends, relatives, and neighbors I've known since my parents' generation. Do you have any idea how many people I know?
Huh? But isn't your family home?
Are you misunderstanding something? My mom currently lives alone in an apartment about 3 miles away from her job. But 10 years ago, before my dad passed away, the 3 of us lived in a rental apartment near my childhood home.
No way.
Oh, by the way, it's too late to try to escape with the affair partner you brought in.
What?
Your father, my uncle, and his wife, and the affair partner's wife are all waiting in front of my house.
No way.
And me too. I just arrived.
No way. You weren't with Mia?
I was with her until a moment ago. I was messaging you while taking a taxi here, so now I left her with my mom.
What is that?
Well, time to storm your affair scene.
Wait! I don't want custody.
Huh?
I'll give you Mia's custody.
Seriously? You're being so nonchalant about it, especially after how panicked you were yesterday when they barged in on you.
Well, of course I was shocked. I mean, they launched such a surprise attack. But nothing really happened, right? You're acting like it was some huge disaster.
Sure, whatever. So you're saying I can take custody of Mia?
Yeah, I don't want it, so you can have it. You probably figured out that I was pretending to be a disinterested mother so I could give up custody for the sake of remarrying him, right?
Yeah, I figured that out. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gone through the trouble of pretending to be Mia and sending those messages that made it sound like Mom is terrible. That was quite a bold move you pulled, I have to admit.
This was actually my mom's idea, you know? She really pushed me to do it.
Ah, so you and your mom are in cahoots. That makes sense.
Exactly. Since my affair partner has a high income, we're working under the assumption that he will be covering the alimony and child support, right? It's all planned out. He's the son of a company president, and he himself is one of the executives. His annual income is around $200,000. Can you believe that?
Wow, that's impressive. But wait, can I just ask something? Hold on a second.
Oh, you're jealous, aren't you? That's what this is about?
Just to clarify, the company president is actually your partner's father-in-law.
Huh? What do you mean?
Since he's a son-in-law, it's pretty much guaranteed that once his infidelity is exposed, he'll be divorced and kicked out. I heard that talks are already underway to have him removed from his position as an executive. It sounds like he'll have a tough time remaining with the company after all this.
Wait, what? You're joking, right?
No, I'm serious. They're probably gonna kick him out. The moment his wife finds out, she's not gonna keep him around. Well, in any case, we already put it in writing that he'll pay the alimony and child support in a lump sum. And he's already made that lump sum payment, so we're good there.
Hold on a minute. What if he decides to back out?
I'm not interested in agreeing to either installment payments or a reduction. He has to stick to the original plan.
Tony, wait, that's going to be a problem for me if he changes his mind.
Well, it's not going to be a problem for me, so I'm fine with it. I'll be okay regardless of what he decides to do.
I still prefer not to go through with the divorce. Is there any way we can avoid that?
No way in hell. You're making this harder than it needs to be.
Seriously? You're just going to leave me hanging like this?
From now on, communicate through your lawyer. I don't want to deal with this directly anymore. It's not worth the hassle. See ya.
What am I going to do? I don't have any money right now. This is such a mess. I thought things would be different. I thought I could manage the situation, but now it feels like it's spiraling out of control.
Maybe if you hadn't made those choices, we wouldn't be in this situation right now. You have to think about the consequences of your actions.
Consequences? It's not like I wanted things to turn out this way. You think I planned for my life to become a total disaster? I'm just trying to figure out how to keep my head above water.
You should have thought about that before getting involved in all this. It's not just about you anymore. Mia's future is on the line, and we need to think about what's best for her.
Right, of course, Mia. But how do I take care of her if I'm broke? I can't just wave a magic wand and fix everything.
And that's why you told me to take full custody, right? Maybe it's time to start taking responsibility for your decisions. You need to figure this out on your own. So, it turned out to be a short-term battle during the 2-day holiday, but we managed to settle things somehow. I never expected the process to be so tumultuous, but life has a way of throwing curveballs when you least expect them. In the end, a surprising misunderstanding came to light, but since I have the divorce papers here, it's really none of my concern now. I hurriedly submitted them to the city office. It felt oddly liberating. A weight lifted off my shoulders, even amidst the chaos. Later on, it was arranged that my former father-in-law would cover the costs for the alimony and child support. This was a relief because the financial burden could have been overwhelming otherwise. By the way, my former father-in-law also started an investigation into his wife, who had been complicit in their daughter's infidelity. The realization that he had to confront his own family dynamics must have been a painful one. He always seemed to be the pillar of strength, but now his world was crumbling around him. Before long, it was confirmed that she was indeed cheating, which led to a divorce that involves claims for alimony. I can only imagine the conversations that took place behind closed doors, intense, emotional discussions that would leave scars on the family. The fallout from this revelation must have been immense, affecting not only the two of them, but everyone in their immediate circle. It's hard to process the idea of betrayal when it comes from those you trust the most. As a result of all this, Lydia ended up in a position where she had to take out a loan from her father. I can only imagine the weight of that decision hanging over her. There's something profoundly uncomfortable about borrowing money from a parent, especially under such dire circumstances. Now she's responsible for paying it back herself, and I wonder how she feels about this newfound financial responsibility. Does she see it as a necessary step toward independence, or is it just another reminder of how far she's fallen? Meanwhile, my former mother-in-law will have to work to pay off the alimony she owes. This must be a bitter pill for her to swallow, considering she may have never anticipated having to support herself in this way. It's a situation that turns everything she once knew on its head. The irony is palpable. The woman who once held a position of privilege is now facing the consequences of her choices in a way she never thought possible. Right now, she and Lydia are living in a run-down, cheap apartment. I can't help but picture the scene, the peeling wallpaper, the flickering light bulbs, and the cramped space that has become their new reality. Their situation has become so dire that they're practically fighting over the little food they can afford each day. It's a stark contrast to the life they once led, filled with comfort and security. I can imagine the sense of desperation that permeates their home. Lydia never thought it would come to this. I can almost picture the moment when she realized the reality of her situation, having to repay her father while her mother struggles to make ends meet. There must have been a point where she felt all the comfort and security she once had was stripped away. It's a harsh lesson in accountability and the consequences of one's actions. I wonder if she reflects on her choices and how they've led her to this point. When I think about it, Lydia was always a bit naive. She seemed to believe that life would always go her way, that her charm and beauty could get her through any hardship. I remember the times when she would brush off serious conversations, laughing them off as if they were mere jokes. But life isn't a joke, and reality eventually caught up with her. The facade she had built crumbled, and what was left was a stark reminder of her decisions. My former father-in-law, having witnessed his daughter's downfall, decided to take action. He's not the type to let things slide, especially when it comes to family honor. I imagine him sitting at his desk, papers spread out before him, meticulously planning how to address the chaos his family has found itself in. I can almost hear the clatter of his fingers on the keyboard as he gathers evidence against his wife, all while maintaining a stoic expression. There's a sense of determination in his actions, a refusal to let the situation spiral out of control any further. He must have felt a mix of anger and disappointment, not just towards Lydia, but also towards his wife, who he trusted to support their family. It's a betrayal that cuts deep, especially when it involves the very fabric of your family. But he's a man of action, and the moment he realized what was going on, he took the necessary steps to protect himself and, most importantly, his grandchildren. I can only imagine the conversations he had with trusted friends as he sought advice on how to proceed. As for Lydia's mother, she must be feeling the weight of her choices crashing down around her. Once accustomed to a certain lifestyle, she's now facing the reality of having to find a job, something she may not have done in years. The thought of her working to pay off alimony must be a bitter pill to swallow. I wonder if she regrets her decisions, if she realizes the extent of her actions and how they've affected not only her, but also her daughter. Living in that shabby apartment, I can imagine the atmosphere, tight, suffocating, filled with a sense of defeat. The walls probably have peeling paint and the floors creak with every movement. The two of them, a mother and daughter who once lived in a world of comfort and privilege, now find themselves scavenging for food, fighting over the last scraps as they try to survive day by day. I can picture the frustration and despair that must fill their conversations as they navigate their new reality. I can't help but think about the little moments they must share during this struggle. Do they sit in silence, each lost in their thoughts, or do they argue about who gets to eat what? Perhaps they reminisce about better times, trying to hold on to the memory of the life they once had. I picture them sitting at a small table, divided by the weight of their circumstances, each bite of food a reminder of their current plight. The sadness of their situation must loom over them like a dark cloud, casting a shadow on everything they do. It's almost poetic in a tragic way. The juxtaposition of their past and present lives must be incredibly stark. I wonder if they ever talk about the future. Do they have any dreams left, or has the harshness of reality snuffed them out? Lydia must feel a certain bitterness, knowing that her actions have led to this downfall. It's a hard truth to swallow, but sometimes the lessons we learn are the ones that hurt the most. Lydia's father, meanwhile, is likely finding some satisfaction in the fallout. It's not something I condone, but you can't help but feel that a part of him is relieved to see his wife face consequences for her role in all of this. It's a sense of justice, albeit one that comes at a steep price. He might think that this is what she deserves, that she should suffer for her betrayal. It's a complicated situation, one filled with mixed emotions and conflicting loyalties. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Aya, what the hell are you doing? We're right in the middle of a wedding reception and you're holed up in the waiting room? You left your seat without it being time for the dress change or anything. What are you thinking? Get back to the reception hall now. The guests are getting confused and worried. This is totally inappropriate.
No, that confusion? It's not because I left the room. Don't try to pin this on me. They're confused because of your actions.
Huh? What are you even talking about? The bride just suddenly stormed out of the reception in the middle of everything. I mean, what's more confusing than that? What else could possibly be going on?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the fact that during our wedding cake cutting, the moment that was supposed to be my moment as your bride, you, my new husband, decided to go ahead and cut the cake with your ex-girlfriend, Kate? Seriously, what the hell was that?
Wait, what? You're mad about that?
Are you even listening to yourself? Kate, who, mind you, I only found out was your ex-girlfriend from a friend of mine just today, suddenly shows up right next to you during our cake cutting ceremony. She grabs the knife and instead of stopping her, you just go along with it. You both cut the cake together, smiling, laughing like it's some cute moment between the two of you. The moment that's supposed to be about us, not about you and your ex. What is wrong with you?
Oh, that? Yeah, Kate was really excited. She said something like, "Thanks for letting me live my dream of cutting the cake." Isn't that sweet? She was so grateful.
Excuse me?
Come on, you know the story, right? Kate and her husband did a shotgun wedding. They had to rush things because she got pregnant, so they skipped out on a big fancy reception. She told me she was on a tight budget at the time, so they just went with the cheapest photo package for their wedding. They never got to have a proper cake-cutting ceremony or any of the usual fun stuff.
So what? What does that have to do with our wedding?
Well, it means that she never got the chance to do the cake cutting. You know, she's never had that classic wedding moment, right? So when she asked me, like half-jokingly, if she could join in on ours, I figured, hey, why not? I suggested we do it together, and she was over the moon. I thought it was nice of me to help her out with her little dream.
Are you out of your mind? How can you even say that? Do you not realize that the cake cutting is something that's supposed to be between us, the bride and groom? Not yours and Kate's. How do you not see how completely inappropriate that was?
Oh, come on, it's not that big of a deal. Seriously, relax. Kate just wanted a moment, and we gave it to her. No harm done, right? You should be happy I was so accommodating. Sharing is caring, right?
This isn't about sharing. This is about respecting boundaries and understanding what moments belong to whom. The wedding cake is symbolic. It's one of those significant moments that marks the union of the bride and groom, not the groom and his ex. And you're acting like it's no big deal?
Jeez, you're overreacting. You're acting like I ruined the whole wedding or something. It's not like you missed out on anything. We can still take the official photos and everything. Just let it go, okay?
Let it go? You really don't get it, do you? You are unbelievable.
Look, I don't see why this is such a problem. I just figured since you've had everything else going smoothly and your dream wedding is already happening, you could afford to be a little generous, you know? Show some spirit of compromise, some flexibility. Everything doesn't have to be perfect or go exactly by the book.
It's not about perfection. It's about what's right and what's appropriate. This isn't just a little hiccup. This is an enormous breach of trust and respect. How can you not understand that?
Okay, fine. You're mad, I get it. But let's be real, this is no reason to throw a tantrum and leave the reception, right? So, can we get back to the reception and finish this thing? The guests are probably wondering where the bride is. Let's not make this a bigger deal than it needs to be.
You think we can just pick up where we left off? Like nothing happened? No, we're not going back like this. Not after what you did.
What do you mean? You're seriously not coming back? You're gonna stay in the waiting room for the rest of the wedding? That's ridiculous!
Hold on, I'm passing the phone to my cousin, Drake. He'll take it from here.
Wait, what? Your cousin? Why him? What's going on?
You don't know him, right? But don't worry, just keep talking to him. He'll handle this now.
I don't have his number. How is this supposed to work?
You'll continue talking right here, just like we are now. He'll take over from my phone.
Wait, well, what do you mean he'll take over? Why am I talking to him instead of you?
Just listen. He'll explain, and please respond properly.
Nice to meet you, Brad. I'm Aya's cousin, Drake. Oh, hi. Nice to meet you. We don't really know each other, do we? That's correct. Today's wedding was supposed to be our first meeting, but, well, things turned out this way. I didn't expect to be speaking to you under such circumstances. What do you mean, things turned out this way? Look, I just switched up the cake-cutting partner for a moment, okay? I was just helping an old friend's dream come true, that's all. It's not like I did something crazy. Besides, it was Aya who invited Kate to the wedding in the first place. I don't see why everyone's acting like I did something wrong here. All I did was let an old friend join me for the cake cutting. That's it. You keep calling her an old friend, but let's be honest. It's your ex-girlfriend, isn't it? You're not fooling anyone by calling her something else. If you're so proud of what you did, why not just say it straight up? You only dance around the truth when you know deep down that you messed up. Changing the wording like that only makes you look guilty. No, that's not really... I've already seen the messages between you and Aya. She showed me the entire conversation, so there's no point in trying to downplay things now. I know exactly what went down. You knew what you were doing when you let Kate take part in the cake cutting. You knew it was inappropriate. What? Okay, maybe. I didn't think Aya would be that upset about it. But hey, what's with you anyway? Sure, you're her cousin or whatever, but that doesn't give you the right to interfere this much, does it? Why are you butting in like this? It's not your wedding. Aya's just making a big deal out of nothing. And what, now it's gonna turn into some kind of disaster? Look, I get that she's upset, but if Aya really wants her moment with the cake, I can fix this. We'll get a whole cake at the after party, and I'll cut it with her then. We can have another cake cutting. See? Problem solved, right? There's no need for all this drama. So, you're just going to flip out now? I'm not flipping out. I'm pissed. I'm offering a solution here, aren't I? I'm trying to fix this. I'll be the one to apologize to the guests for the delay. I'll make sure everyone understands what happened, and we'll get another cake if that's what it takes. So why don't you tell Aya to just get over it already? It's not that big of a deal. So you're not planning to reflect on your actions at all, I see. Reflect on what? I haven't done anything that needs reflecting on. She's the one making it a big deal, not me. All I did was try to make an old friend's dream come true. It wasn't like I was trying to hurt anyone. Why does everything have to get blown out of proportion? This is ridiculous. I see. Well, if that's the attitude you're going to take, then I'm afraid this is the end for you two. Wait, what do you mean? I'm taking Aya with me. She's leaving. What? Leaving? What are you talking about? This is our wedding day. Why would she leave? It's been decided. The wedding is off. Both families have already agreed that it's best to call things off. We're not going to continue with the ceremony. Wait, what the hell are you talking about? The wedding is off? Why? We're already halfway through. What the hell is going on? Why would both families agree to that? Well, your actions today have made it pretty clear that you're not ready for marriage. Aya deserves someone who respects her and understands boundaries. What you did, cutting the cake with your ex-girlfriend instead of your bride, that's a level of disrespect no one should have to deal with on their wedding day. It's unacceptable. And on top of that, the way you've handled things since it happened has only made it worse. You're not showing any remorse. You're not even taking responsibility. I don't need to take responsibility because I didn't do anything wrong. How is cutting a cake such a big deal? I mean, come on, you're acting like I committed some kind of crime. It was just a fun little moment, that's all it was. You guys are the ones blowing it way out of proportion. One last thing before I go. I think you deserve to know the truth. What truth? What now? That woman you just cut the cake with, Kate, she's my wife. Wait, what did you say? You heard me. Kate is my wife. You just humiliated yourself in front of everyone by cutting the cake with another man's wife, and you didn't even know it. No way! You're kidding, right? This is some kind of joke, isn't it? No joke. This is the reality of the situation. You not only disrespected your own bride, but you also disrespected me, my wife, and everyone at this wedding. Aya deserves better, and she's going to get it. The wedding is over, Brad. Wait, you can't just end it like that. Aya and we were supposed to be together. This can't be happening. Hey, Aya, canceling the wedding is one thing, but breaking off the engagement entirely? And you've already hired a lawyer? Are you serious?
Honestly, I'm starting to question if you're the one who isn't thinking clearly here.
What?
Do you even understand the significance of a wedding cake cutting ceremony? What it symbolizes?
Isn't it just some performance where the bride and groom cut the cake together to serve the guests or something?
Wow, you don't even know the basic meaning behind it? Oh, I shouldn't be surprised.
What other meaning could there possibly be?
It's supposed to symbolize the couple's first act of working together as husband and wife.
Wait, what?
I'm not saying I'm an expert, but that's the general significance most people are aware of. And before Kate interrupted, the MC literally explained that to the guests. Everyone there was watching the cake cutting through that lens as a symbolic act of unity between us. But instead of cutting the cake with me, your bride, you pushed me aside to do it with your ex-girlfriend with a smile on your face, no less. How do you think that made everyone feel?
Wait, you're saying that everyone was seriously horrified by what I did?
Horrified might even be an understatement, and that's not all. Do you realize that your ex-girlfriend Kate also happens to be my cousin's wife?
I didn't know that.
Yes, I'm aware you didn't know. But even without that detail, it doesn't change the fact that you treated me, your bride, like I didn't matter at all.
I didn't mean to treat you like that.
And let's not forget the other thing. The fact that you were having an affair with Kate while we were engaged, that hasn't changed either, right?
No, that's not true at all.
Drake hired a private investigator. He's been looking into things for a while.
A private investigator?
Yep, the final report came in 2 days after the wedding.
Wait, what did it say?
It confirmed that Kate's affair partner was her ex, Brad. You.
No way.
Kate broke things off with you because she got pregnant, and you, meanwhile, kept moving forward with me, just like she moved on with Drake. Sure, by the time the wedding happened, you two were no longer seeing each other, but it doesn't change the fact that while we were engaged, you were still involved with her.
I can't believe this! They've really dug up all this stuff!
There's one more thing, too. Kate is currently 20 weeks pregnant. and there's a growing suspicion that you might actually be the father of her child.
What? That's a lie! Please, spare me from paying the compensation. You have to help me.
Huh? What are you going on about all of a sudden? You already agreed to a lump sum payment in front of the lawyer. You even signed the documents. Don't tell me you've forgotten.
I haven't forgotten, but right after that I got hit with compensation claims from your cousin, too. And even Kate. Kate's demanding it, too.
Oh, right. I suppose that's because the DNA test confirmed that the baby Kate is carrying is yours. After that, Drake divorced her. I guess Kate's demands are piling up now. Let me guess. She's telling you to take responsibility, marry her, and raise the child? Or, if not, pay child support? And she's probably demanding compensation for the emotional damage, too.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. And it's not just that. I'm also stuck covering all the wedding expenses since the whole thing got called off. You know, the reception, the venue, all the catering, and the honeymoon, too. They're charging me the full 100% cancellation fee. Do you know how much that is? My savings aren't just gone, they're completely wiped out. If this keeps going, I'll have no choice but to take out a loan just to survive. I'll be in serious debt soon.
Sounds like quite the mess.
Please, I'm begging you. Can't you at least let me off the hook for your compensation? We used to be engaged, right? We had something between us. We shared a connection, didn't we? Can't you cut me some slack for old time's sake?
Wait, we had something? What do you mean by that?
You know, we were engaged. Sure, things didn't go as planned and we didn't make it to the altar, but still, we were close at one point, weren't we? I mean, even if we broke up, we were important to each other. I still think there's something between us, right? We cared about each other once, didn't we? Can't you find it in your heart to forgive me, even just a little?
I don't know what world you're living in, but any connection we had is long gone. I don't have any feelings left for you, not even a little bit.
Wait, what? No, that can't be true!
Don't say things that make my skin crawl, Brad. It's revolting.
What do you mean by that? You don't really mean that, do you?
I mean exactly what I said. After seeing how much of a lowlife you truly are, every single ounce of affection or respect I had for you disappeared. It's all gone, completely. That's why I called off the engagement. And that's why I'm pushing for the compensation to be paid in full, all at once, so I can get this over with and cut ties with you as fast as possible.
No, wait! You don't mean that? You don't really hate me, do you?
To put it simply, Brad, I can't stand you. I despise you. You're pathetic.
What? No way!
I'm honestly more shocked that you're actually surprised by this. How could you not have realized?
What's going on? Why did you move out?
Excuse me? What are you talking about?
I just came by your place, but I couldn't get in because of the new security system. Then I noticed your nameplate wasn't there anymore. I asked one of your neighbors and they told me you moved out a while ago. What the hell is going on?
Oh, that. Yeah, I moved out about 2 weeks ago. Given everything that's happened, I figured it would be better to change my environment. Plus, my company was kind enough to offer me a transfer, so I took it.
Transfer? You didn't even tell me anything about this.
I didn't see the point in telling you. I was planning to move after the wedding anyway. Even without the transfer, moving out was inevitable. But now that we've broken off the engagement, this has nothing to do with you anymore.
Nothing to do with me? Of course, it has everything to do with me. I was planning to move in and live with you here.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I borrowed money from my parents and relatives to pay off all the compensation claims. But after that, I got kicked out of my parents' house for good. They told me I had to pay back all the money I borrowed as soon as possible. So I thought if I moved into your apartment where you were already paying rent, I could save a lot of money.
So, you're thinking you'd move in with me, stop paying rent elsewhere, and then use the saved up money to pay off your debts? Is that what you mean?
Yes, exactly, you get it. And now can you please cancel the termination of the lease right away? I need this place.
I guess I forgot to mention something earlier. That apartment, it's actually part of my company's housing program. The whole building is used as a dormitory for employees.
What? A company dormitory?
Yep, so technically it's not a regular apartment I was renting. When I got transferred, I vacated one of the dorm rooms for another employee to use. That's how it works.
Can't you do something to help me out? There has to be a way, right?
You're aware that if you're not an employee of my company, you can't live there, right? That's a basic rule. You're not one of our employees, so there's no way you can just stay there.
Actually, I kind of left my job.
You what?
I had to quit. I mean, after that whole cake cutting disaster at the wedding with Kate, it became impossible for me to stay at work. I had invited my co-workers and even my boss to the wedding, so you can imagine how awkward it became. I felt so ashamed that I couldn't stay at that company anymore.
Oh, is that so?
I don't have a place to live now. Can't you help me find somewhere?
Not my problem.
What?
This is getting annoying. I think I'll block you now. Goodbye.
Daya, wait! Don't do this!
Since that time, I've gathered some information about what's been happening. It seems that when Kate discovered that Brad was unemployed, she started to get cold feet about the marriage. After some back and forth, it was ultimately Brad's parents who stepped in. They made the decision to pay child support in one lump sum, hoping that this would put an end to the disputes between the two. With this sudden influx of cash, Kate found herself in a rather advantageous position. She thought to herself, why not use this child support as my alimony? Unfortunately for her, her parents caught wind of this scheme. They were furious and declared, "You have no qualifications to be a parent." In a shocking turn of events, they took the newborn away from her. They left her with nothing. They kicked her out of their house without a penny to her name. Rumor has it that Kate is now living a very different life. She's been seen meeting various men in the bustling entertainment district. Every time, she disappears into nearby hotels with them, chasing whatever thrills she can find, as if that could fill the void left by her failed relationships and her lost child. On the other hand, it seems Brad isn't faring much better. I've heard he's been spotted escorting much older women in their 50s or even 60s, into hotels, all while sporting an awkward, strained smile. They say he's been with women who are 20 to 30 years his senior. It's a strange sight, really, to see someone so young paired with such mature women. I didn't want to pry too much, but I can only imagine how awkward those encounters must be. It seems like he's desperately trying to find a way to cope with his situation. But from what I hear, he's not the kind of person who can maintain a healthy relationship under these circumstances. The way he behaves is unsettling, and honestly, I feel a bit sorry for him, even though he brought much of this upon himself. Both of them seem to be caught in a cycle of bad decisions and desperation. I can't help but wonder how they got to this point. Was it the pressure of their failed relationship that pushed them into these circumstances? Or was it their lack of foresight and maturity? They were once a couple with dreams and aspirations, and now they're just shadows of who they used to be. As for Kate, it's painful to think that she's now defined by her poor choices. Instead of focusing on her child and making a life for herself, she's out there, seeking validation from strangers. I overheard a few whispers about her behavior, and it's hard to imagine that someone who once had a family is now in such a predicament. People say that she seems to be thriving on the excitement of these fleeting encounters, but I doubt that they provide her with the fulfillment she truly needs. Brad's situation isn't any better. People see him with these older women, and while some might think he's lucky to have these experiences, there's a sad undertone to it all. It seems like he's trying to escape from the reality he created, but running away doesn't solve anything. He appears lost and confused, and is desperately searching for something to fill the void left by Kate and the life he could have had. They say that both of them are likely unable to establish any meaningful relationships moving forward. Each of them seems to be trapped in their own cycle of misery, running away from the past but never really confronting it. It's almost as if they're both living parallel lives, steeped in regret but too stubborn to admit their failures. As I reflect on their situations, I can't help but feel a mixture of pity and frustration. They had the opportunities to make better choices, but instead, they let their circumstances define them. They could have sought help or guidance, but chose to go down this destructive path instead. In the end, it looks like both Kate and Brad are on a downward spiral. They may not realize it yet, but they are playing out the tragic consequences of their decisions. Life has a way of teaching hard lessons, and I can only hope that, in time, they will come to understand the impact of their choices. It would be a shame if they continued down this path, forever trapped in the shadows of what could have been. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
I'm taking that high-rise condo and your elite husband who makes $130,000 a month. You annoying old hag. Disappear.
Huh?
Yeah, you heard me.
Who exactly is this?
His girlfriend, duh.
My husband's girlfriend? Wait, and what's this about a condo?
Yeah, that fancy high-rise condo you just bought, huh? Starting today, it's gonna be my sweet home with him.
I'm completely lost. What on earth are you talking about?
Come on, don't you recognize me yet?
Sorry, I don't think I do.
Do I really have to say it? I'm Danny. We went to middle school together.
Wait, Danny? Hold on, let me think.
Wow, I even introduced myself and you still don't remember?
Oh, yeah, now I think I remember. You were always bragging about being the tallest girl in class, right?
Yes, exactly. I was tall, model-like, super mature, and of course, stunningly gorgeous. Yep, that was me.
You did have that whole thing going on. But honestly, I've completely forgotten what your face even looks like.
Excuse me?
And now you, the tall girl from back then, are telling me you're my husband's girlfriend?
Oh yeah, Chris is head over heels for me.
Wait, Chris?
Yep, he's totally ready to divorce you soon. So I packed up my stuff and came over to the high-rise, and guess what? I could just waltz right in. So from today, this place is officially mine.
Chris?
Yeah, your husband, Chris.
My husband's name is Chris, with a C.
Wait, what?
Chris is my husband's older brother.
Huh? Wait, what?
Yeah, Chris is my brother-in-law, not my husband.
Wait a minute. What?
Oh, and just out of curiosity, which high-rise are you in right now? What's the room number?
Tower A, 3803.
Oh, right. That's where Chris lives.
Wait, so the place is right?
Well, yeah, you've got the right high-rise and room, I guess.
Oh, well, that's a relief.
Sure.
Man, I swear, sometimes you really can't trust the info you pick up at these reunions. I mean, it's been pretty unreliable lately.
Reunion? You mean the one from 3 months ago that I didn't attend?
Yeah, one of your friends at the reunion said Ashley is going to marry the future CEO and his salary is guaranteed to be $13,000 a month.
I think I understand now.
But you know what? It's fine. I mean, sure, mistaking you for Chris's wife is a bit of a blunder. But hey, I got into the high-rise suite, so that's a win for me. See ya!
Good evening, Maddie. Do you have a moment? Yes, Ashley? What's going on? So that woman who claims to be Chris's girlfriend just messaged me about her plan to take over the high-rise condo. What? Are you serious? Yeah, but since you'd already told me about the situation beforehand, I wasn't too surprised. How did that even happen? Well, when she introduced herself, it jogged my memory. It turns out she was one of my classmates in middle school. Back in the second year, we were in the same class. Wait, seriously? Yeah, we weren't particularly close or anything, but I guess she somehow found my number from a group chat from a reunion I had to miss. I'm guessing she got the number from there. But why would she even reach out to you in the first place? Apparently, she mistook me for Chris's wife. What? How on earth did she mix that up? So here's the thing. Danny's lifelong dream has always been to become a CEO's wife. Even though we weren't close, it was something she talked about all the time, to the point where even I knew about it. She used to say things like, "With my model-like figure and good looks, landing a CEO will be a piece of cake." She bragged about it every single day. But Chris isn't a CEO, and it's already decided that Chris, the younger brother, will take over as the next CEO. Right, this is just a guess on my part, but I think Danny has it stuck in her head that the eldest son always becomes the next CEO. That's probably why she thinks Chris is going to inherit the company. Oh, makes sense. That's been the tradition, right? Every generation, the eldest son inherits the company, ever since your great-grandfather founded it. Exactly, so she probably assumed it would automatically apply in the next generation as well. On top of that, a friend of mine who attended the reunion casually mentioned that I married the future CEO, and I guess that's where Danny picked up on it. I see. So, a mix of her assumptions and some half-baked information led her to think you were Chris's wife. Yep, I went ahead and corrected that part, though. I didn't want that misunderstanding to interfere with anything going forward. Good call. Thanks for that. What about the whole mix-up regarding the next CEO? Did that come up at all? Actually, it didn't. She didn't bring it up during our conversation, so I didn't address it. Got it. Sounds good. By the way, where are you right now? I'm guessing you must have left the high-rise if Danny's there trying to take it over, right? Yeah, I'm staying at a cheap hotel near the station. Isn't that inconvenient for you? Well, not really. I'm planning for this to be a short-term situation anyway. It felt like too much of a hassle to rent a weekly apartment in the middle of all this. Honestly, I'm having a pretty good time here, so don't worry about me. Well, as long as you're okay with it. Besides, we're actually in the final phase of our plan now. The moment that woman decided she was going to hunker down and take over room 3803 in Tower A, she sealed her own fate. Tomorrow morning, it's all coming to a head. Oh, nothing beats the morning view from the high floor of a luxury tower apartment. It'd be perfect if only Chris weren't away on his overseas business trip. Huh? Wait, do you not know? Chris isn't on a business trip, he's on an overseas assignment. What? Overseas assignment? You mean he's not coming back for a while? Well, he might return for holidays or for work, but as far as I've heard from his wife, it's probably going to be permanent. What? His wife? Why is his wife involved in him moving overseas permanently? Well, they're married, after all. Chris is going to marry me. That's the whole point. We're supposed to be finalizing his divorce right now. So if anyone's going to live abroad with him, it should be me, his future wife. And hold on a second. What about this tower apartment he just bought? Isn't it a waste of money if he's planning to move overseas permanently? I think you should probably ask Chris's real wife about that. What? You haven't met her yet, have you? And it sounds like you don't even know her name. I don't need to know her name. Well, I think you'll have no choice but to confront her soon, so maybe you should start preparing yourself mentally for that. What? Danny, you remember me, right? Huh? Your half-sister, Maddie. What? Maddie? It's been about 10 years, hasn't it? Ever since you tried to take my last home by stealing my husband but failed, and then vanished without a trace. What are you talking about? Oh, you don't remember? You barged into my home, acting all triumphant, telling me to get out like you had won. I still remember what I said back then to you. All right, I'll leave. But just so you know, this house is under my name. And let's not forget when I added, by the way, my husband only makes $1,300 a month. Good luck with that. I can still picture that stunned look on your face, like a pigeon hit with a bean gun. I haven't forgotten that moment. It was priceless. Ugh, I mean, who would have guessed that guy was a part-timer with such a low income? Or that the house was actually under your name? And here you are, 10 years later, pulling the same stunt. Haven't learned a thing, have you? What? What are you even talking about? Didn't you catch on when Ashley messaged you earlier? Why would I care? What are you getting at? I'm Chris's wife. What? After I divorced my ex-husband, I met Chris. We got married. What? That is so unfair. You need to divorce him right now. Let Chris go. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but this time you didn't steal anything. You're just stalking him.
Huh?
All those times you thought you were meeting him after work, you were just stalking him. And that 3803 apartment you're sitting in right now, you broke in with the key you stole from Chris's bag. It's called trespassing, and now you're squatting illegally.
What are you talking about? Chris left his bag open so I could easily grab the key. He was doing me a favor.
No, he just forgot to zip his bag properly. And most people, when they see an open bag, don't just take things from it. That's called stealing.
Whatever. Either way, this apartment is mine now. Chris's stuff belongs to me since I'm going to be his future wife after all. Weren't you listening? He's going to divorce you.
I hate to break it to you, but that 3803 apartment you're sitting in, I bought that.
What?
I'm a real estate investor. That apartment was an investment property. But then Chris's overseas assignment came up, and with the lease on our old place expiring, we decided to stay there temporarily for the last 6 months before his departure.
Are you serious?
Yep, and now that Chris is away, I'm planning to put it on the market for rent. So do me a favor, pack up your stuff and get out.
You've got to be kidding me. Ashley, I heard that your husband is going to be the next president of the company. Is that true? You have to let me have your husband. Honestly, I should have aimed for him from the start, but I ended up making a mistake and going after someone else. This whole situation is so confusing. As an apology for messing things up, you need to give me your husband.
I knew you would say something like that.
So give him to me right now.
Well, I mean, it's a freebie, right?
That's not impossible. With my model-like figure and stunning beauty, any man would fall head over heels for me in no time.
You did mention that my husband's name is Chris, right?
What? Chris?
Do you really think you can take him just because you heard his name?
Did you really think you can take him just because you heard his name?
I don't think your choice of words was very nice, but yes, that Chris. The same one you've bullied and looked down on for ages.
And it turns out that Chris is actually the son of the company president.
No matter how good-looking someone might be, there's no way I could develop any romantic feelings for someone who only brings back terrible memories for me.
If only I had known back then that he was the president's son. Ugh, I really messed up this time. What's going on here?
What's happening now?
I was just in the middle of packing up my things and leaving my apartment in the tower, and as I stepped outside, I found my parents waiting for me. I don't really understand what's happening, but there's this black minivan parked outside. I mean, it's all just so confusing. They said something about me working at this company called Oniwa Group, and before I knew it, I was being shoved into that minivan.
Oh, Oniwa Group.
Wait, you know about them?
That's the construction company where your ex-husband, the one you stole from my sister Maddie 10 years ago, works, right?
What?
I heard that he took out loans to pay for the alimony and that you were sent there to work off the debt. It's also supposed to be a place where they can help you, straighten out your morally questionable behavior.
Morally questionable behavior? What are you talking about?
Well, it's also known as a kind of rehabilitation facility for, delinquents.
Delinquents? What is that supposed to mean? That's so rude.
I'm just saying the truth, Danny. You've not only taken Maddie's ex-husband away, but also had some sort of affair with other married men, haven't you?
Wait, what?
I heard you still haven't paid back the alimony that was demanded back then, right?
Well,
honestly, is it any surprise that you ended up being sent to Oniwa Group?
No way. What on earth am I going to have to do there?
Since it's a construction company, isn't it obvious what kind of work you'll be doing?
You expect me to do physical labor when I have a model-like figure and stunning beauty? Are you serious?
I don't know what you expect, but if you keep getting yelled at, are you going to end up becoming muscular or something?
What kind of nonsense is that? I absolutely do not want that.
I'm just saying, don't come to me with this nonsense.
Can't you do something to help me out?
I really don't know what to say. Anyway, good luck with that.
No, I can't deal with this. I absolutely do not want to go through this. I don't know what's going to happen to me. Why is this happening? Why can't I just have a normal life? I feel like I'm being forced into a situation that I can't escape from. I refuse to let this happen to me. I'm not going to let them dictate my life. I have dreams and aspirations, and this is not a part of them. I want to scream. Why does it have to be like this? I don't deserve this kind of treatment. I'm panicking. What if this turns into a disaster? I can't handle it. I just want to run away from all of this. I can't believe my life has come to this point. I'm so frustrated. This is the absolute worst. No. I can't do this.
Danny, believe it or not, is already 29 years old. Her parents had reached a breaking point with her behavior and decided to give up trying to manage her. They had been neglecting her for quite a while, but when she almost landed in a situation that could have involved the police, they realized it was time for drastic measures. They arranged for her to join Oniwa Group, a construction company, in hopes that it would help her straighten out her life. Danny, however, was completely bewildered by this turn of events. Instead of stepping into her dream life as the glamorous wife of a company president, she found herself burdened with debt and forced to work at a construction site. The reality of her situation left her feeling lost and confused.
Such a job could never suit someone as dazzling as I am, she cried, throwing a fit and causing a scene.
It was hard for her to accept that her life had taken such an unexpected turn. She had envisioned a life filled with luxury, elegance, and high society, but here she was, being told to work in an environment far removed from her dreams. Despite her protests and outbursts, her situation changed rapidly. In no time at all, she was captured, metaphorically speaking, and thrown into a black minivan that whisked her away to her new life. As the vehicle sped off, Danny couldn't help but feel like she was being taken to some sort of punishment. She was overwhelmed by a mix of disbelief, fear, and a deep sense of loss for the life she had envisioned for herself. Now she found herself in a reality where she had to pay off her debts from her monthly salary while enduring tough training under the guidance of strict and demanding senior colleagues. The work was physically grueling, and Danny had to sweat profusely, often struggling to catch her breath. She was quickly learning that her previous life of glamour was worlds apart from the reality of her new job. At the construction site, the atmosphere was harsh and unrelenting. The noise of machinery and the rough banter of her coworkers filled the air, creating an environment that was foreign to her. She felt out of place, surrounded by people who were focused on their labor without a care for appearances. The very thought of doing physical labor made her anxious, and she couldn't shake the feeling that she was in over her head. I remember her first day vividly. She was so overwhelmed that she could hardly focus on the tasks assigned to her. Her supervisor was a stern man who seemed to have little patience for mistakes. He barked orders at her, and she could feel the weight of his expectations pressing down on her shoulders. It was hard for her to adapt, and the physical labor was unlike anything she had ever experienced before. With each passing day, Danny realized that she had to face the situation head-on. It was no longer just about her appearance or aspirations, it was about survival. She needed to prove to herself and everyone around her that she could handle this challenge. She couldn't let her past define her future. During breaks, she often found herself sitting alone, trying to catch her breath and collect her thoughts. Her mind would drift back to the life she left behind, the parties, the glamorous outfits, and the thrill of being the center of attention. Those memories felt like a distant dream now, and she longed for the comfort and ease she once took for granted. Yet, amid the struggle, Danny began to appreciate her new way of life. The people at Oniwa Group, while rough around the edges, were honest and straightforward. They didn't care about appearances. They valued hard work and dedication. Slowly but surely, she started to build connections with her coworkers. They shared their stories, struggles, and triumphs, and she began to see them as more than just colleagues. One day, while lifting heavy planks with a fellow worker named Hiro, he caught her eye and offered a supportive smile. "You're doing great, Danny," he said, giving her a thumbs up. His encouragement felt like a small light in the darkness of her struggle. In moments like these, she started to realize that she was not alone in her journey. Hiro had his own story of challenges and hardships, and he willingly helped her learn the ropes. He showed her how to use the equipment properly, and under his guidance, she began to improve. She no longer felt like a burden, but rather a valued member of the team. Despite the hard work, Danny found herself growing stronger, both physically and mentally. The sweat that dripped from her brow was a testament to her determination to overcome the obstacles in her path. As the weeks went by, she could see the progress she was making, not just in her work, but in her confidence as well. Of course, there were still moments of despair. There were days when the exhaustion felt overwhelming and she wanted to give up. There were times when she would sit alone, tears prickling at her eyes, reflecting on the life she had left behind. She missed the glamour, the excitement, and the freedom she once enjoyed. But then she remembered why she was here. She needed to pay off her debts and find a way to turn her life around. She couldn't let her past mistakes define her. She had to push through the pain and keep moving forward. One day, after a particularly grueling week, her supervisor called her into his office. Her heart raced as she wondered if she had done something wrong. But instead of reprimanding her, he surprised her by praising her hard work and dedication. "You've come a long way, Danny," he said, a rare smile crossing his face. "Keep it up and you'll go far in this company." His words meant more to her than she could express. It was a turning point for her, a moment when she realized that she could indeed find a place for herself here. She was no longer just the girl who had stumbled into this situation. She was becoming a part of the team, a community that valued each other's efforts. As she settled into her role, she also began to think about her future. What did she really want? Was this where she wanted to stay forever? Part of her was still drawn to the life she had imagined for herself, but she knew she needed to focus on the present first. With the help of her coworkers, Danny began to learn about the construction industry. She discovered that there was more to it than just physical labor. She found herself fascinated by the projects that they worked on, the teamwork involved, and the sense of accomplishment that came with completing a job well done. Little by little, she started to feel a sense of pride in her work. She could see that she was no longer just a girl in a pretty dress. She was becoming a woman who could take charge of her life. She began to embrace her new identity and the strength that came with it. As the months went by, she continued to pay off her debts and felt a growing sense of independence. She was no longer dependent on anyone else to define her worth. She had learned to stand on her own 2 feet, and it felt exhilarating. While she still had moments of longing for her old life, she also found joy in the friendships she was forming at Oniwa Group. They would often share laughs and stories during breaks, and she felt a sense of belonging that she hadn't experienced in a long time. In the end, she realized that this unexpected turn of events had become a blessing in disguise. She was learning about resilience, hard work, and the value of genuine friendships. It was a journey that was shaping her into the person she had always wanted to be, even if it wasn't in the way she had originally envisioned. She couldn't help but wonder what the future would hold for her. Would she ever return to that glamorous life she once dreamed of? Or had she found something more fulfilling in this new path? Only time would tell, but for now, she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Through the ups and downs, she had discovered her strength, her voice, and her place in the world. And that, above all, was worth every ounce of sweat and tears. As she reflected on her journey, she realized that she was not just surviving, she was thriving. She had come to appreciate the value of hard work and the satisfaction that came with it. She was no longer just a pretty face, she was a determined woman with a strong spirit. Every morning she woke up with a renewed sense of purpose. She was ready to face the day, no matter what challenges awaited her. She had learned that life was not always easy, but it was in those moments of struggle that she found her true strength. In the end, she had transformed her life in ways she had never imagined. The woman who once cried over the loss of her glamorous lifestyle was now embracing the beauty of her new reality. She was learning to navigate this new world one step at a time, and she was proud of the person she was becoming.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.